Good evening, everybody. Whoever's out there, we're back again with the Dragon of Wantley, with our team of investigators. There's John from Castle Gaming. Andy is unfortunately not present this week, but he may join us later with a bit of luck. We got Jake from, I don't know, do we say you're from Infinite Monkey Tales?
I'm proud to be associated with that brand,
I would
as I am proud to be associated with this brand.
Oh, excellent. I love that you call it a brand.
I was like, we're a brand.
$17 worth in don't forget Dave. And we've also got Dave from Hairy Game Lords. So, without further ado, I shall hand it over to the players to give us that wonderful catch up on what happened last time, which I'm sure they're really prepared to do.
We didn't die.
We met
Sir.
current suspect's biological father, and he did not kick us out of the house, really.
We did get some quite hard stares from the butler, though.
We also discovered that he did come there for the purposes of trying to garner funds from good old Papa, but he didn't ask very nicely. There is a groundskeeper that we are looking for. I believe that might also have been missing. He was the next avenue of investigation, unless I'm mixing up a couple of games.
Who was mixed up with the weird fella that we found just wandering through the fog, scaring the bejesus out of us.
Yeah,
he would
long
take
Tom.
on his guardianship, hadn't he?
Yeah.
But not doing a very
Which,
good
you know-
job because he's running around scaring visitors to the town like us. And we were headed back to the inn, and someone caught sight of him again, didn't it? Running through the fields. But
so
we
saw him at
pretended not to see him.
in the fields as Sir Reginald's driver was, or rather Samoa's driver was bringing you back to the village.
Ah, that's it. I told him to keep his eyes on the road.
And I think tonight we have a hot date with an amateur historian looking at some secret tunnels under the inn.
Well, I think a historian's probably a bit kind. Is investigating claims of subsidence.
into working for council or something?
Yeah, he works for council. Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigating claims. Claims of subsidence.
It was riveting. His explanations of his apparatus and.
I believe he held you all with rapt
yeah,
attention.
I had to tear myself away from the conversation. Being a fellow man of science.
However, these tunnels go all the way under the entire area. We are led to believe by it possibly. Is the opposite of impeccable just peccable? Can a source be peccable?
I would believe it would be more unpeccable if it's the reverse, no? Or... Maybe it's depeculated.
Depeculated. Let's go with depeculated.
Yeah,
if it was once peccable, because it was knocked down from being impeccable, then I guess the next logical
depeccable
step would
to
be
unpeccable.
depeculated.
If you're depeculated and then you're unpeccable. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, semantics aside.
Yes.
There's quality content right there.
So I believe. Anybody got anything else to add to that?
We are supposed to be looking for Flora, but
yes.
We have got quite distracted by his lordship's geldings.
They did get an invitation to take part in the gelding of the horses.
That scared us off.
Yeah.
We lost
So,
sanity
yes.
for that sentence.
Some more likes to
So-
be hands-on.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, it was too dark, wasn't it, to go up to the lodge?
Yeah, we
It
didn't
would be
want to go
too
traipsing
dangerous.
across the moor with all its gullies and rocks and what have you, and long toms.
And the reason, what was the reason is because the groundsman is missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's seen him for a few days.
So
But he does live like a little bit away from, like, it's quite a trek to his
I'll say
house.
it was quite a
from-
trek, and it was quite treacherous footing as well. Is
He
why
he lives
we
in a
didn't
lodge
go.
up on the crags.
Yeah, we didn't want
to.
to
Yeah,
go when
I
it was
believe
getting
we
dark.
wanted to go there as well to investigate it, to maybe find out clues about where he may have been, or but that was going to be the next day, because we have underground tunnels to investigate, and it is getting
Talking
later.
of which, I believe this is still your first day, isn't it? In
Yeah,
Wantley's
we've
Yeah.
not had a night at the pub yet.
No,
We've done loads of stuff. You see, we've
you
been
did.
active.
You did. Very productive.
been to the post office, got a bit
Yeah.
of gossip.
Yeah, been to the post office.
Annoyed at least 2/3 of the village.
Made a couple of friends in the inn itself.
I've
buying
made
them
tons
drinks.
of friends in the pub.
Yeah.
Well, you might have done if it weren't almost deserted at the time. It is. Talking of which, though, it is considerably busier now. As you can hear, even from outside, you can hear that there's quite a lot of commotion. Well, quite a lot of obviously quite a lot of patrons inside. I believe.
Is there some sort of slightly dubious folk band going on?
You can hear the dulcet tones of your friend with the what do they call him again? Concertina.
Concertina, I think it's a little one. Yeah.
Yeah, the concertina. So yeah, you can hear him. He's a one-trick pony though, mainly because I've only got one audio track for him, and he's so he's knocking out that the ballad of the Wantley Dragon again.
As long as he doesn't start playing the landlord's daughter, he might get out of this alive. Okay. Well, we probably need to have some tea.
Priorities. Yep.
Yeah.
Beer.
Well, I'm thinking if we're going down into tunnels, exploring and that, might
Should have a
take a
beer
while.
first.
And if we get lost, which we won't because we're also thoroughly competent.
I'm sure you're
But
all
if
really
we do-
skilled in navigation, particularly navigation underground.
Maybe not. But moving on.
Have we
And they were
actually
never seen again.
been up to his rooms and unpacked? I presume we have. We must have, otherwise we're walking around with a suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's say Polly was going to get the rooms ready for you. So let's say Polly's put the taking things up, put them in your rooms.
She's a good lass.
She is.
Very trustworthy as well.
Yeah, it hardly looks like any of my stuff was rifled through.
Yeah, I'm just thinking same.
That's not your shirt that she's wearing.
Hey, where's my box of crackers? Oh yeah, I guess Polly wanted a cracker.
So, there's quite a few people in the pub now.
Oh yeah,
Of
it's
the- of the
I mean it's
evening.
not full, but there's maybe about it's probably how full. There's maybe about 10 people in. Almost exclusively men, middle-aged to older men.
Oh, that's my type of pub.
So the only exception is in fact is probably Polly herself.
We can't have everything. What is our council chappy guy there?
So he isn't there at the moment, but in at
Oh,
the
they've killed him.
at the corner at the corner table where he was sat earlier are three three men who are obviously quite obviously not locals, and they're all sat around, leant over some over the table, like discussing various notes and things and diagrams they've got spread out on the table in front of them.
They've sacrificed him and they've turned him into a pie. That's what's happened. He's tea. What was that guy called? Can't even remember taking his name.
Oh my god,
Just the guy, council guy.
it's a good question.
The guy. Tim Guy.
Possibly. I did just make that up.
Oh.
But there is
What's it
an
called,
outside chance that I'm right.
Was he staying here? Did he
Daniel Cotton.
say? Daniel.
He was staying here, yes. So he's the
Yeah,
only
well.
other person who's currently staying at the inn.
I'll go and walk over and ask Polly if she's at the bar. Is Mr. Cotton up at his room?
Says, yes, he was finding this a bit the noise a little bit distracting, so he retired to his room earlier.
Understandable. Do you know, has he eaten this evening? Has he taken tea?
I believe I took something up to him earlier, just a short while ago.
Are we okay to or am I okay to go up to my room just to
yes,
change?
your rooms are ready. You can go up anytime you want. Says if you wanted to go see your room, I'll show you through. It's not immediately obvious. You have to pass through the kitchen.
So before I let her do that, what does she have on offer for like the evening meal?
So tonight they have venison and rabbit pie. Strange combination, but there you go.
That sounds gross. I'll take some of that.
Also, if you don't fancy that, if that's a bit too rich for your taste, then she can fry up a few sausages.
No, I think
grosser.
A nice piece of game pie.
Yeah. So I'll order that and then I'll
and chips.
Some chips and wait for everybody. See what everybody else is doing. But I do want to go up to my room.
So would you gentlemen like to see your rooms now, or will you?
Yeah, we might as well go and get changed.
Yes, absolutely. That would be lovely.
Okay, right. So she raises her voice above the clamour that's going off, and warns everybody that she's just showing these gentlemen to their rooms, and she knows exactly how much beer there is left in the pumps.
But she's saying this with these 3 new strangers in the bar.
Yeah, but she's directing the conversation at the locals rather than strangers.
What impression do I get from these 3 new? Do they look businessmen-like? Do they look government-like? Do they look like they're not local farmers type? Obviously, there's not much here.
They, I would say maybe have they remind you of teachers, maybe some academics.
Okay.
Maybe I could go and spill some beer on them and find out more.
It certainly has become your MO.
So Polly comes out from behind the bar and she opens. There's a door just almost immediately to the right of the bar, which she opens and waits for you all to walk through. So you've seen through this door before. It leads into the kitchens, and there's a large wood burning stove, as well as an big open fireplace, and wooden beams that run through the rest of the building, extend into here, and hanging from various hooks and things across the beams, as well as being copper pots and pans. There's an abundance of herbs that are in various stages of being dried. herbs, mushrooms, all kinds of things. As well as the ones hanging from hooks, there's like you notice there's jars with various dried herbs, mushrooms of all shapes and sizes and colours, all neatly arranged on shelves to one side.
Are these all very much cooking herbs and mushrooms?
You could make a natural world roll.
I probably couldn't, but I'm willing to give it a try. If I can find my mouse. Natural world. And no. No. Definitely. There's
You can make your own conclusions from that then. You can decide yourself.
I don't have time for this kind of behaviour.
So out of this room there are, well, 3 exits potentially, I suppose. There's a door across the opposite side, which appears to be like another exterior door. To your left, in the far corner, there is a narrow set of dark wooden stairs leading to the upper floor, and in the opposite corner again from that, to your right, towards the other exterior door, there is a trapdoor leading to the what must be the beer cellar. So this is Polly's direction. So if you gentlemen, if you'd care to head up the stairs, I'll show you to your rooms.
Thank you. Quite. Ladies first.
Oh.
Person who knows where they're going first.
She blushes slightly, and of course, yes. And so she heads up the stairs. If you tend to be a bit taller, you find that you have to duck to avoid banging your head on the quite low ceiling, particularly when you get to the top of the stairs, as the rooms are like built into the eaves of the attic, and it's kind of this narrow corridor that you're almost having to like sort of walk at an angle to avoid having to like hitting your heads on the beams. And there's three small rooms spaced roughly evenly along this landing. To the far opposite end, probably about half the width of the entire attic, is another door, which Polly tells you that's off limits, as that's her private rooms.
I'm going to open up the door to my room, and I'm going to say, it's a lovely room, and Polly, please don't misunderstand me, but my eyesight is not quite as good as it used to be. Is it possible that you bring an extra lantern up here with oil? I'm afraid that the light in here won't be sufficient. I may need if you have one of those little portable lanterns and some extra oil for that, so I can have a little bit more light in this room. That would be appreciated.
That's no problem, Mr. Shotter. I can sort that out for you, no problem.
Oh, thank you so much.
Do you require
a
that
little bit of
now?
extra oil would be great, please. Thank you so much. Don't you guys find it a little dark for your taste, or maybe your eyesight is better than mine?
Yes.
I can sort
an extra lantern would be.
Do you require that now, or
maybe after tea?
Well, we're not going to trouble you. We'll pick it up from downstairs, wherever it is, and we'll bring it up to the rooms ourselves.
I'll get some out of storage, and I'll leave them on the bar for you.
Oh, thank you kindly, and please, nothing. It's not your room. It's me.
Oh, thank you. There's just one more thing I should say. So, the outhouse is out in the backyard. So, you have to go through the rear door through the kitchen. But please be sure to if you do find you're using it in the night, then please be sure to lock the door when you return.
God, not very hygienic.
Yes.
Is it?
Well, we certainly don't want critters, getting into the
Well,
kitchen
it's a
of the
little
food
cold
store.
this
So
time of year as
we'll,
well,
we'll be
Mr.
sure to.
Shatter.
We were doubling up, were we not? I think I was gonna
I think, did
share
we
a
not
room
have?
with Gerard.
Yeah, we had
Or was
3
it
rooms
Gerald?
between the
Sorry.
4 of us, I think.
And was Charles going to go with Jake?
I thought we had 3 rooms for the 4 of us.
There was the other guy, the council guy's in a room, isn't he?
But yes, there was.
Costs.
Sorry, there's three empty rooms. There's an extra room
Oh,
where the council guys stay.
Yeah, because we were going to all double up, but Jake nicked the extra room just to stop
Yes,
anybody
he did.
else getting it.
He did, yes.
Oh, yes, that's correct. Yeah, we just didn't want,
An extra stranger thrown
like
into
these
the mix.
these 3 academics. Very suspicious. Maybe they're also interested in the heritage of this building.
All right, so Polly excused herself. She says, "Well, I better go get back downstairs. Otherwise, I'll be halfway through the second barrel before
Oh my!
I've turned my back." And she hurries off downstairs. So you can still hear the sound of the crowd downstairs singing and drinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the room, and if it looks like there's any that the window in the room is lockable, I'll make sure that it's locked.
It's got a latch. The rooms are pretty much identical. There's been some sort of thin partition walls being put up, and each room has got 2 single beds in it with barely enough space to walk back and forth from the door to the window between them. And there's a really small set of chest of drawers for you to put clothes in. There's a porcelain wash basin and a water jug. No running water. And then there's a small window that you could probably just about get your head out of if you opened it. And it's got
It's
got a latch.
I'm not worried about what's going out. I'm worried about what might come in.
There's no lock, but there is a latch.
A latch, yeah. Okay.
It's like being back in medieval times. I need to get back to London.
Oh, this is luxury.
The lava's shitted out at window in a minute.
Harry, luxury, you say? You will be hearing me snoring in your room.
It's quite cold as well.
It's all right. We can double up. Keep warm.
Push the beds together.
Jake can't. Jake's on
I'll
his
take
own.
the extra blanket from my room that has the 2 cots. I'll take the extra blanket too.
So at my characters, I'll get changed.
Wrap up warm.
Probably have a wash and get changed, but I just need to step away for 5 minutes, so I'll leave you to it while I just step away. But that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything in particular? What's your plans? What are you doing next?
Well, I think I should check through my things. I mean, and put them away proper, make it look like I'm living in here proper.
Okay. So everything's intact. Nothing appears to have been tampered with or removed. So all good there.
Oh. I, on the other hand, I'm going to keep everything in my case, ready for a speedy getaway should it be required.
So you're a just in case kind of guy.
Absolutely.
Are we still paused? We are, but the timer's not running. Let me move that on a little bit.
Well, shall we all go down and get our meals and then
have some bit of snack.
Have a little rest up before we engage in our spelunking endeavors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right.
Yeah. Downstairs, ingratiate ourselves with the locals. I'm going to try and sit quite close to these 3 new chaps, see if I can overhear what they're talking about.
Okay.
Before I go and introduce myself.
Well, it's not too hard to do that because the inn's getting a little bit busy and there is limited seating anyway. You end up Polly ends up serving your meals actually on the bar. So she pulls up some high stools for you to sit on. So you're pretty much just sat. Well, if you look in the image, you can see that if you imagine that round table is where these academics are sat, and you're sat across the front of the bar.
Oh, right, cool. So yeah, I'll just keep leaning back and see if I can.
Okay, well,
Catch wind of
it's
what
not
they're chatting about.
they're not they're not talking in it's not like a guarded conversation or anything. I mean, it is a little can't catch every word that's being said because obviously not, at the same time they're not broadcasting it to the entire pub. So it's a little bit noisy. So you don't you get the general you hear enough to get an idea of who they are and what they're doing. So it seems that these are the part of the archaeological team that have been excavating these bodies that were found in the farmer's field.
Right, okay. Have they figured out what the crack is? We did have a handout, I believe.
So yeah, there was a newspaper article, wasn't there? Although it was quite brief. I believe it's in the handouts section of the journal tab.
Yeah.
Let me just.
Mummies on the moor. There we go.
That's the one.
Still juicy.
Yeah. So shall we read it out for the benefit? I'll show it to everybody for the benefit. People who haven't seen it. I can't see. I've got too many things here. There we are. Open, please. No, there we go. Show to all. Show all. Okay. So. No, that one zooms back. Okay, that's not much use. So yes, mummies in the moor. Frightful find in Warncliffe Field. A local farmer, Samuel Farrow of High Tree Farm, made the grisly discovery of 2 corpses in an unusual state of decay while tending to grazing land last Saturday. The bodies appear to be mummified through some process as yet unknown. Professor Miriam Hawkswood of the University of Sheffield has been examining the find and told the Telegraph that the bodies are dressed in clothing from the 16th century, yet are so remarkably preserved that they are still, in her words, juicy. Professor Hawkswood, a renowned expert in the more esoteric aspects of history, is continuing her research in the village of Warncliffe Side and has been granted exclusive access to the library of Sir Reginald Moore, where she hopes to find some explanation for this macabre mystery. She has promised to keep the Telegraph informed of any further developments.
So maybe as Harry is here, I might say something a little too loudly, like, "Oh, I understand this Professor Harkswood is doing amazing work in the field of archaeobiology, archaeology and biology. Have you read any of her studies? She's in the papers all the time."
Apparently so. Was she not in the paper on Tuesday? Round these parts somewhere.
Oh, I don't remember what day, but grisly find. I'm sure this that Professor Harkwood is the proper one for this job. Very interesting stuff she must be bringing back to the university.
Yes, I'm sure it was round these parts somewhere. It was in the Yorkshire Telegraph anyway.
I was considering auditing one of her courses, actually, just out of pure interest.
Well, one of them one of them looked over. So,
And-
you have an interest in archaeology, sir?
Yes. Well, all Americans really.
Oh, from the colonies.
I'm American. Sorry.
From the colonies. Oh well.
Yes. We're always poking around, burial sites and finding interesting finds and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, we don't believe everything that's in the that we that we read in the papers. Mummified remains. I mean, that surely was an embellishment by the author of the article.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be mummified, perhaps in the what would be the usual public's assumption of what mummified means. It's not trapped in bandages by any means. Not like some find over in Egypt. No, mummified uh, by the peat in the bogs in the fields. And not only that, they were encased in a quite unusual substance that seems to have contributed to their extreme level of preservation.
So are you familiar with Professor Hartwood's work?
Yes, we're colleagues.
Oh, lovely.
Well, fancy that.
That's fortuitous. Well, I I thought I was going to suffer through another boring evening of conversation with my
How
fellow
very
traveling
dare you.
companions, but I'm very happy to buy you guys the next round.
Oh, well,
Polly, please.
That's awfully kind of you, but I'm afraid we won't be staying in the village.
Oh, why not?
Well, the professor is staying up at the hall, and we were going to take rooms here at the inn, but unfortunately we're a little bit late, and there are no rooms left.
Don't be silly. You're going to stay with us as one of our guests. We'll liberate one of our rooms for you.
Oh, so you took the rooms?
There are 3 of them, right?
Yeah, there's three rooms. Oh, 3 of the guys. These guys. There's 3 of these people. Yeah, these.
And
these
there's 2 beds per room.
Yes.
So, anyways, it's odd man out.
Someone's going to get lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, certainly we don't need all the rooms. Of course, it's a greater comfort to us, but I believe we can get accommodations for 2 out of the 3 of you. Is Sir Moore not putting you up as well?
Well, he didn't offer, and it would be
No, it would be uncouth to ask.
yes, it would be a little rude to presume.
Yes. Tell me something. Has there been any identification of whose bodies these are? Who do they belong to?
I doubt very much we'll be able to ascertain their exact identity. What I can say is that they're from our estimations, they're from the 16th century.
Oh my.
Although to look at them, you wouldn't think they're more than 50 years old.
Oh.
What if have they been taken back to Sheffield or?
No. Unfortunately, the local constable has intervened. I suppose, understandably so. It's the discovery of bodies. He has to put in an official report. So at the moment they're being held in the crypt at the local church. It's
So
the
he's
coolest place.
pursuing an investigation on the demise of 2 people from possibly 300 years ago, based on suspicious location.
No, I think it's far more mundane than that. It's apparently just a case of the official procedure. Bodies are being found, so he has to file official paperwork. seems a nice young chap, if a little by the book.
Quite well, you know. Um, i- interestingly enough, the groundskeeper of Sir Moore is also missing now. I'm wondering if while you're up in the fields, you don't also keep an eye out in case he should happen by.
Oh, well, I suppose we could do that for you. I mean, the actual site is some distance from where you could say he goes. Where was it? He said he went missing.
Well, it's on the property of Sir Moore.
Oh well, it's yes. I'm afraid we're quite some distance. And to be honest, we've completed all our excavations on the site, so it's just a case of studying the find back at the university when we're allowed to move them.
Quite
You,
interesting, though. I mean, chemistry, an emerging field. Has any analysis been done on this substance that has appeared to
Well, we're
preserve
going
the
to take.
bodies?
We've taken a couple of samples that we're going to take away with us. If you're interested, uh, Mr. Chapman, show these gentlemen the test tube. And he reaches inside his jacket and pulled out a stoppered test tube. And in this test tube is this sort of light, really pale blue translucent substance. It looks partially crystallized, partially partially liquid, partially almost like slimy. This is
Yeah, I'm gonna
when we
grab it and
originally
kind
removed
of.
it from the bodies. It was bodies were covered in this kind of crystalline shell. But once it's been exposed to air, it's begun to melt. If I'm not sure that's quite the correct word, but it's changed changing its makeup.
can I have a archaeology roll on all of this general bullshit?
Yeah, with what to what ends? With what what is your
Well, I think is this blue stuff anything like even remotely known to the archaeological world, or does it sound like
well, yeah, you
complete
could, yes,
pony?
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Well, what I was gonna do is try to, like, when I have it in hand, just see if I could sniff the top of it to see if any
Oh, it's
odors coming
like
out of it.
it stops you. I mean, as you go to do that, it stops you. I wouldn't do that, sir. I wouldn't do that.
Oh no, I'm not gonna
It's
open it. I just want to see if it's.
we don't know if it's toxic or not. It certainly gives off some quite noxious fumes, particularly since it's been deteriorating. It gives off some yeah. So I wouldn't advise that at all. Although you do before he manages to like stop you do get a slight whiff. It smells. It's a faint smell of rotten eggs or sulfur.
Can I try a natural world roll on it?
To what end?
To
What goal?
to think if this is a natural substance.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you've no idea.
I am
Gerald.
completely out of my depth, and I'm just agreeing with everything they say in an attempt to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Ooh, I mean, of course, you could have pushed it. If you can come up with a reason for pushing it, I'm not really. I'm not really sure what that would be.
Non-mysterious blue substance.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think it's enough that we will be able to recognize it in the future if we see it.
So Jake, yeah, that's failed. You could always spend 8 luck, or you could push it if you wanted to. Pushing it's probably not.
You know, I know this game well enough. No.
I'm sure the test tube wouldn't have broken or anything.
No.
Have I got anything else that might be useful on blue substances?
chemistry might be useful, I suppose. I mean, but
Yeah, I don't have that.
it's going to be, if even using something like, it's going to be at least a hard roll, because obviously chemistry is more about actually analysing it with some
Science.
to some, yes, science,
Sciencing it.
sciencing it out. Yeah. So yeah, it would require some level of analysis. I mean, you know, like a cursory chemistry, give you a cursory look, see if you can recognise it as something, I suppose.
That would involve having chemistry.
It would, yes. That would be a slight disadvantage if you did not possess the skill of chemistry.
Harry's got it, but he's in the outhouse taking a dump.
Oh, okay. So talking of which, so yeah, Harry, after you've you relieve yourself as quickly as possible in the freezing cold outside, and the seat in particular is quite cold.
How would I have had? I presume there's a light source that I would have been able to use to actually find the toilet out back.
Yeah, I suppose you could take a lantern or a candle, maybe.
So, and it's just a bog standard.
It's a bog standard
outhouse.
brick shit house.
Oh God. So the kitchen entrance.
Yeah.
That's like the back entrance to the inn. Are there any other? I know we've seen a trapdoor going into the basement. Are there any external ones that I can see from the back
I
No.
would have thought there'll be at least one somewhere round about for the beer
beer?
cellar.
What about a coal cellar as well? Or that be on the front row?
Hello. Yeah, it'd probably be on the front.
Coal chute or something.
But no, there's no external. There don't appear to be any external entrance to the
So
cellar. Don't forget the brew their own beer, so they're not having anything.
Yeah, they're not having
right,
deliveries, are they? So when I come back inside, then while she's obviously pulling pints or whatever she does.
Yep, the kitchen is
Can I have
deserted.
a rummage in her kitchen, have a rummage in her drawers, and see if there's anything that might be of interest. So I noticed that you were going on about herbs and jars and things.
Uh-huh.
Was that going to be botany? Was it botany?
Natural world.
Natural world. Do you have that? We've got 10%. Nothing chemistry.
Excuse me.
Oh, wrong character. I've got 5 in occult. That's going to do me jack. Anything else? I've got biology, chemistry. So I'll try the natural world then.
Okay.
Just have a look, see if anything I recognise. I presume it's all food ingredients.
Where are we?
So 10%. Have it.
So
Yes.
close.
Lettuce.
Do you want to push it? If
No,
I presume you don't want to spend, or probably can't even afford to spend that much luck.
No, I think I spent quite a bit in the last session. I've got 39 left. No, so I'll just make my way back into the bar then.
Okay.
Is Charles still up in his room? Food poisoning from the meat pie, or he's sleeping off the
Oh, Charles, yes,
Oh,
he's sleeping.
yeah.
He was worse to wear for the beer,
He did
wasn't he? So
overindulge at lunchtime.
yeah, so
He
yeah,
can't
he's
face another pint,
sleeping it off.
and he's not a man of science. He's one of them actor lovers.
Yeah.
Can't.
Way too much for him. The walking, the beer.
Yeah, lightweight. So yeah, I'll just make my way back into the bar then, and
Okay.
probably get the tail end of what they were just talking about.
Yeah.
We'll introduce you to our new friends.
Yeah, these are colleagues of Professor Harkwood. I believe we saw her at Sir Moore's.
Oh, the lady in the was she in the library, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. It's a
So
funny coincidence.
this, I did get a little bit of what you were saying. You were waving a test tube round. What was this? What's in the test tube?
Exact.
The
Curiously,
remains of what was a crystalline covering of these
Oh, of
mummies
the
that they
bodies.
found on the moor, out on the moor, but it's liquefied since they removed it from the bodies. Pretty
I mean,
mysterious.
can you imagine a body is lying 300 years
I
in
know
a
300
field
years is very, very old for
covered by
you
moss
colonists.
So
and is still juicy?
it only became liquid when it was removed from the bodies. It
Or
was
when the
No,
bodies were
it
dug up.
crystallized.
when the bodies were exhumed from the ground, when they were
they've got
uncovered.
crystals on them, and then it turns
Whether
to
it's
a.
from removing it or just from exposure to
So am
the
I
element.
just basically looking at some
Just give it a
blue
swig.
liquid in a test tube?
No, it's kind
Got
of it
glue.
looks in three sort of states. So there's
There's
some of this
like powder
crystalline.
or something.
It's like some of the at the top. There's like this crystalline substance, and
Oh,
then below
I'll
that
stick my
it's
finger
kind
in
of.
and have a taste.
Oh, it stops you. They stop you from doing that. The way,
I'm
yeah, it's taking the
joking.
thing off. But yeah, just below the like a
It's
crystalline
not
crust
cocaine.
almost on the top part, and then below that it's kind of viscous fluid, and then below that it's more liquid, more watery.
Well,
And as it
since
becomes, it's like I said, the crystals are kind of a really pale, translucent blue, but as it changes consistency, it becomes paler to the point that the liquid is almost clear.
well, being an amateur chemist, can I try and work out what it is?
You could
What I
get
would
you could
think
get a
it was?
cursory. You could try and get make a cursory assessment of it, I suppose.
And what were the bodies found in? Did you say peat?
Yeah, and they were buried in the fields. Yeah, the peat of the fields.
Mm. So I've got 46%. Here goes nothing. We've got 40.
Oh,
Okay.
Did it?
So no, you've no idea what it is.
It's like a blue crystal formation
Yeah,
with
it's not.
turning into liquid. Oh, that was good.
It's not. Yeah, it's not some. It look the crystals look a bit like. I believe before I say it, let me just check this before I actually say it. I think this
And
is.
the
copper
bodies,
sulfate.
all three bodies had
That's
it
what I
on
was
them,
going to say.
and they're all covered in crystals.
Yeah,
these
so it
bodies.
3
looks-
bodies. Now they found a third one.
I
Yeah,
thought
two.
it was three.
Two.
Two bodies.
Two. So yeah, the crystals almost crystalline part of it almost looks a bit like copper sulfate, but similar, but it's definitely not copper sulfate.
And I heard it being said that it smelled like rotten eggs, a bit
Yeah.
like what I just left in the outhouse. Right. Okay.
By the
And
smell of it, you may have brought some of it back with you.
you can't smell that for all the smoking and the pipes.
Have a
That
cigar.
Still more cigars.
And so has this has been sent off to a lab or some?
Well,
so
we'll
for the
be
samples?
we're taking it to the lab. Well, actually, Chapman, I believe he'll be. I think Chapman's going to head off this evening. We'll if the room's available, we'll take room. But Chapman's he's gonna head off back over to Sheffield and get this to the university.
And they've never seen anything like it before themselves.
No.
They've never. No.
We've been unable to identify. We need to get it to the chemistry department at the university.
Wait.
Fortunately, that's going to
must be something in the in like the local soil then up where the bodies
Well,
were found.
maybe so.
or-
We've taken some samples of the soil and peat that was surrounding the bodies as well. There were some, obviously there were some trace elements
Well,
in the immediate surroundings.
Mr. Cotton, a gentleman we were talking to earlier, he's looking at. Was he? It was. Oh, he was taking gas readings.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's looking into
gas, so maybe
subsidence.
Oh, was it substance? But what's the
Subsidence and possible, like because of these old mine workings, is looking into possible reports of possible subsidence, and also checking for any potential like gas buildup.
right? So I'm wondering if that may be connected,
Yeah.
because if the gas is coming up through the ground, it would have affected the soil where the bodies were, maybe.
Maybe. If there's tunnels in that area as well.
I can't remember what he said exactly, but I think there are a lot of tunnels, aren't there?
Yeah, so there's
They all-
tunnels running
Apparently
under
so.
most of the village, yeah.
So, do these guys know? Have they met Mr. Cotton?
No.
No. Oh, so would they be interested in looking at the his apparatus tonight? We're going down into the cellar to look at his apparatus.
Thank you for the offer, but
Lots of exciting underground tunnels.
Well,
It might be linked to this this chemical.
Who knows what's down there?
and how do you propose to access these tunnels that you're speaking of?
I don't know
Well-
about accessing any tunnels. We're just going to he's going to do some readings on his.
Oh, I
on
see.
his-
I see. Well,
his-
it would certainly be. How old do you say these tunnels are? This Mr. Cotton says they are.
He said something about like medieval coal mining,
Mm.
which I was really surprised about.
Oh, well,
I could imagine like coal mining in like maybe the 1500s or 1600s, when you think these bodies are from, but medieval mining in the middle of nowhere just seems a little bit odd to me.
It's certainly rare, but not unheard of. It turns to one of the others. Might be a chance of getting a grant. Maybe a look into this at a later date.
Well, I think he's still not come down, has he? So I think he's still in his room, but we're getting a bite to eat, and then I think we were going to join him in the basement.
Well. Let us know how that goes on. The tunnels certainly might be of something interesting, but yes, I'm not interested in seeing this gentleman's apparatus. At this point, Chapman gets up and says, "Well, gentlemen. I better get off. Don't want to leave it too late for the drive back to the university."
Quite.
And so he excused himself and wishes you all a good evening, and leaves the pub. His two companions, associates, they go outside to see him off,
Well,
but not before collecting their paperwork.
Gentlemen, we must find Flora tomorrow.
definitely.
Because I cannot stay here. I'm going to struggle staying here tonight, but I can't stay here another night. That toilet is a work of horror.
I mean, there are the fields. Well, shall we pie, chips, and peas it?
Why not?
And
Rabbit
then
pie.
hopefully,
Well,
our
I
friend
would
was,
imagine you've probably finished your meals by now. It's getting
Is,
on to it's past 8:30 the evening.
Oh gosh, nearly my bedtime.
Do we have the old guy in the bar that's was doing the song with the first time we came in?
Yeah, he's on his like
Yeah,
He's still
it's funny
here.
you should mention that,
15th
because off he goes
15th
again.
go through.
Doesn't he know any other songs?
No, he doesn't. It doesn't. Purely because I don't have any other any other period folk songs on hand at the moment.
So how many
And the
people?
pub's filling out, probably quite almost completely full now as well.
And it's all majority men.
Majority men. So you've got there's the couple that own the post office, sitting by the fireplace, that you recognise, and there's another. They're sat with another couple about the same age.
So I might. Shall I go upstairs and see what time?
Yeah, give him a nod.
What time Mr. Cotton's thinking of getting his apparatus out for us? So I'll make my way upstairs to the room I believe he's in.
Okay, right. So it's a room right at the far end. Probably it must be by the look of how the rooms are in. It must be the smallest and most cramped of the rooms.
Quick question: of all the, do we have keys for our rooms, or
No.
does Polly have a?
There doesn't appear to be any locks on the door. There is you can lock them from the inside, but you can't lock. There's no way to lock them from the outside. No.
And I can't see one on her personal room.
Yes, there is.
Right, so I'll knock on Mr. Cotton's door then.
Okay.
Mr. Cotton.
Okay, there's a
Any
brief
reply?
pause, and the door opens a crack, and he peers out, and then see when he recognises you, opens it up. He says, I was just about to head downstairs, see if you were ready to view the apparatus.
Yes, we can't wait. So we're really excited.
Very good.
To,
It's all exciting, very
this.
exciting stuff. I've got a selection of litmus papers.
Awesome.
If you like, you could make some preliminary tests yourselves.
Yes, we could. Yes, that's very exciting.
He starts to he flips open this book and starts to show you all these colour gradients of different litmus tests to show you.
Oh,
like,
this is super. Anyway, well, let's go downstairs and you can show my friends at the same time, so I don't have to watch you explain it twice.
It looks a little bit disappointed because yes, of course. Says, I must speak to Miss Jevons first, of course.
She's a busy lady.
No, I need. It was the right thing to do. The apparatus is in her cellar after all. It's
yes.
I need to ask, get her permission.
To open a trapdoor. Yep.
Yes,
that's understandable.
So yeah.
So I'll follow him down.
Okay, so he goes downstairs and opens the door. It doesn't go out into the main bar fully. It just kind of opens the door and stands there awkwardly trying to catch Polly's attention.
Just before he catches her attention, how many nights have you been staying here?
Oh, this is only the second night.
So we believe Alda and Flora were here. Was it 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago?
Yeah, about 2 or 3 nights ago. Yeah.
So he wouldn't have seen them. No, forget that then. Carry on.
So yeah, he eventually manages to catch her eye. And she comes over and says, "Mr. Jevons, if it's all right, I'd like to access your beer cellar so I can check on my equipment." I said, "Yes, go ahead." And she just kind of waves him off and goes back to chatting with patrons.
So I'll return to the other two and say, Mr. Cotton is ready to show us his thing.
Marvelous. Let's crack on.
Okay, right. So, so he opens up the trapdoor, maybe with a bit of help from one of you. Lifts this heavy wooden trapdoor, revealing revealing some stone steps leading down into a dark cellar. So he picks up a lantern. He's got his own lantern.
I was say, can we grab the spare lanterns that
You can take one
Jake
from the
managed
kitchen.
to?
Oh, you can take the ones from the bar.
Polly was going to sort us out some.
Yeah, you can claim them as you're passing if you want. Yeah. You can, in fact, you can all make a no roll, I guess.
It's intelligence, isn't it?
No, education.
Education. Oh, pardon me.
Okay, so Jake, you're maybe not familiar, but Gerald and Harry,
Yeah,
you
the American.
so the lamp that Mr.
Davy lamp.
That Mr. Cotton has got is a Davies lamp, a miner's lamp.
Is it one that he's brought himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice lamp you've got there.
Says, oh yes, it pays to be cautious when in my line of work, especially with this kind of thing. And he stops you when he sees you've got the oil lamps. I'd rather you didn't bring those. It's highly unlikely, but it wouldn't do for us to be blown to smithereens, would it? Engulfed in a fireball.
Surely it must be safe because
I'm sure it is, but
Miss, I mean, Polly must come down here regularly, and
indeed.
Should be using a normal lantern.
If you'll just humour me, if you would.
Okay, I'll humour you.
Does no? Okay.
Well,
so
maybe we'll just bring them down as a backup, but keep them
not
unlit.
Next, you'll be wanting me to put my pipe out.
I'm not a fan of the dark and not smoking in enclosed areas.
I can assure you, my Davy lamp will provide us more than enough illumination.
I'll turn to Gerald. No cigars.
Just this one.
Right.
When we come back up.
So Mr. Cotton he refuses to go any further until he's happy that you're not bringing any exposed flames or lanterns or anything like that.
So I can't light this piece of TNT, I guess. Illumination either.
It's just a candle, sparkly candle. So once he's happy that you're complying with his request, which I presume you are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will.
So it leads you down he leads the way down these worn old stone steps. It's this small, it's really cold, dank cellar. The ceiling's quite low, so you're forced to duck to avoid the beams that run across what would be the support the floor above. As you look around, it looks like the cellar, the entire cellar has been cut from the rock.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's various shelves
Does it
with
look like
with
it was cut 300 years ago?
It looks very old, yes. So there's various shelves with bottles and various supplies and food and drink. There's also the barrels that feed the beer pumps upstairs. There's brewing equipment. The brewing equipment takes up quite a substantial part of the cellar. And to one side, on a low table, is the apparatus, all these glass umbilical glass jars with some kind of fluid in, and set up at the side of a shelf that has been pushed. Moved, all the content has been removed from it, and it's been moved slightly to one side, so this little table can be put up against this wall where this huge, heavy, iron-banded wooden door is set in the wall, which Mr. Cotton informs you this is the entrance to some of the tunnels.
Ooh. Any chance of a peek?
Sorry?
Any chance of a peek?
I'm afraid Miss Jevons has the key, and he points at this heavy, huge, heavy padlock.
Okay.
So anyway,
Well,
to,
have you not? Would it not make more sense if you're concerned about the gases coming from the tunnels to open the door and check the air
things
in the
all
tunnels?
things in good time, sir. It pays to be take a cautious approach. I need to assess the immediate environment. If then there is no apparent danger, then I can advance. If necessary, I can advance to the next stage, which would involve taking readings from the other side of the door. But before I even get to that, I have other apparatus set up in various cellars throughout the village. So it's a methodical process.
So what are we worried about? Explosions and whatnot.
Possibly, it's it's not unusual for in mine workings, particularly ones of this age, for toxic gases to build up. I'm sure you will have heard of various accidents in the coal mines up and down the country that have occurred, particularly in the past. I mean, thanks to inventions like this Davy lamp, they're becoming less common.
Yeah.
But particularly in older structures, gases tend to build up, particularly gases such as hydrogen sulfide.
Explosive gases.
Explosive and highly toxic, highly flammable, highly toxic. Which is why why I have set up these tests, because some of the locals have on occasion reported unpleasant smells, which they've described as sulphurous or
but that's just
eggs. Which, if you're not aware, then this is a signature of hydrogen sulfide.
And eating too many meat pies, as I just found out.
Does hydrogen sulfide exist as any sort of like blue crystal by any chance?
Not that I'm aware of.
Question for you, Mr. Cotton. And these are the locations where you have your equipment set up.
Yes.
Do any of those have reinforced doors like that in their basements? I presume all the places have.
They're all sealed. Yes. This is perhaps.
But do they have doors leading off into the tunnels?
Yes. Yes. Some are completely sealed off. Have been bricked up and built over. There are a few like Miss Jevons' cellar here that has access, but is closed off with a door for safety reasons, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
So I'm kind of confused. So the tunnels, the miners in the past would have obviously dug the tunnels, worked the tunnels, and then are we thinking this pub was then built on the location of said tunnel, so they have then fitted a door to stop access to
that is, I believe, the case in the village. As I say, in some cases, people when the village has been at some point, perhaps when the village was originally constructed, the the entrances are being completely sealed off.
Mm. And did we have a date for this inn? How old is this? Is this inn? Does it date? Don't date back to 15 whatever, does it?
No, it's
No, no.
it's about about 1600s. It is quite old. It's probably
Oh,
two.
it is old then.
Yeah, it's an old inn. It's a couple of 100 years old at least.
Oh, you know, guys, I'm going to have to excuse myself and brave the outhouse. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, maybe 5, possibly 10.
Is this in character
And
or
I'll,
out of character?
In character.
Remember not to come back with a lit lantern or cigar.
I will definitely not come back with a lantern. And I'll poodle upstairs.
Okay. Okay, so Miss well, anyway, enough of that. On to the exciting stuff. And he pours out, takes this like a sample jar off this glass apparatus, and pours it into a small test tube, and opens this like sheaf of litmus papers. Takes it out and starts dipping it in, and then puts it carefully to one side. And he does this 2 or 3 times. You need to take a few tests for comparative results. Make sure we're getting the consistent results. And then he basically just like sort of sits there, staring, waiting for these, watching the minute colour changes in these strips of litmus paper.
Are our 2 friends from the university still knocking about?
They are, when you go back upstairs, if you go into the bar, they are back in the bar, yes.
Guys, there's a chappie down in the cellar, very interested in hydrogen sulfide. Reckons there's traces of it all over. You might want to have a word with him. Maybe show him your little vial of blue what's it.
Oh, it's is there some correlation?
I'm not sure. Polly.
Yes,
Polly?
yes, yes. What can I
would
do
you-
for you, Mr.
Old Bobby,
Mr. Black?
whatever it is, he's asked me if I can just borrow the key for that door so we can just take a quick sample from the other side of it.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose so. He did mention that might be something he would like to do at some point. Although I thought that would be a few days from now at least.
I was going to say he was thinking a few days, but while he's got everything set up and before he goes out and takes some of the other ones, figured might as well. I have to admit we might have been a bit excited to see the other side of the door and how the samples compare. So yeah, we might have egged him on a little bit.
Well, just be sure to bring it straight back.
Will do.
And she reaches down into like a pinafore pocket, and she pulls out a chain with a set of keys on, and one of this like big, well, a sizable iron key, which she unhooks from this chain and passes it to you.
Nice one. And can I have a pack of pork scratchings as well?
A pack. I've got some. I did 2 days ago under the bar.
Oh, marvellous. I've got a feeling it might be quite a long night.
So she hands you this bowl with these pork scratches, a couple of flies, taking a stroll across them, but I'm sure they're fine.
I'll pop the key in my pocket, wander back downstairs.
Okay, so meanwhile, down in the cellar, while you're completely absorbed by this exciting spectacle before you of this litmus paper slowly but surely changing colour as the liquid slowly seeps its way along the length of these strips of paper, you can both make a
Sanity
hidden
roll.
Sorry, which roll?
A spot hidden roll. In fact, you can have a bonus dice because you get this.
So
It's
bored, your
so
attention has
bored, your
wandered
attention is
elsewhere.
focused elsewhere. Yeah.
No, that's what the sanity was for.
Oh wow.
Oh, that bonus die saved me.
Boom.
+1. Yeah, I've done it too.
Okay. Right. So probably Jake noticed it first, but Harry, you see it as well. To one side, near the bottom of the steps, you notice a toothpick, a well-chewed toothpick.
Mm.
Which is possibly more
Did we
relevant.
have a picture of Frank?
Like to chew a toothpick.
I'm wondering if it was Frank.
So you know that Frank has one of the a nervous trait of his was that he was almost constantly chewing toothpicks.
Thank you. That's.
Take it as evidence, and we'll test it for DNA.
We'll take it as evidence, and we'll try to put it between two of his teeth and see if it fits.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't believe it. No, he's not chewing a toothpick in the picture. In the photograph that you've
I
got
do
of him.
remember you mentioning it.
But yes,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, but yeah, Jake would definitely remember that.
Wasn't it the staff? It was one of the maids that said he was always messing with.
Yeah, well, the housekeeper said he
toothpick.
he had this disgusting habit of chewing toothpicks. Always had a toothpick in the corner of his mouth. She
so that means
complained about him just flicking them on the floor and having to pick them up.
So he's been down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Why?
Polly upstairs knows he's been down here? Because it's a trap door, isn't it, to get down?
It is. There's no lock on the trap door to get down here. No.
Remember, there is still one person who we don't know whose identity it was, and that would be the person that keeps sending him the postcards or the what was how did she sign her name?
The dove.
Was it my little dove or
your
your
little
little
dove? I believe it was. I think you got the yeah.
And
oh, no,
it just she's
And Polly was a parrot, which is also
she's a wrong one. She's a wrong one. Why? That's what I was saying. Why would they just turn up here in the middle of nowhere? Why?
Well,
would
they're
they
obviously
bring her
bird
here?
brains.
Anyway.
So yeah, at this point, Gerald returns with the two archaeologists in tow.
Watch your chaps. Puck scratching.
Can I pick that toothpick up?
Yeah, of course you can.
And then
I thought you're definitely keeping it.
I'll just pass it to Gerald as he offers us a pork scratching.
Cheers! Mouth. I'll stab a pork scratching with it. And
found it on the floor there near the stairs.
Now you tell me.
And our friend Mr. Alder had a habit of using these things, so he's been down here.
So Mr. Cotton, you're missing the excitement. It's the tests are complete.
Oh, exciting! Tell me more.
So he's got his book and he's comparing these gradients of colours against different samples in this book.
These chaps might like a word with you because they found the mummies out on the moor.
Oh yes, I saw the newspaper article. It's not really.
And they were covered in a blue substance that smelled very much of hydrogen sulfide. So I thought you two might want to have a chat about that, possibly in the comfort of the bar once you've finished having a look at these exciting tests.
I think I adjusted your camera position, Dave, and I've now this. There you go. archaeology is not really my thing. But if
Oh
if
no,
I,
but I just thought,
if I
both
can be
have
of
an
assistance,
interest in.
gentlemen, and I just need I just need to finish these tests, and I'll avail
Both have a
myself of you.
distinct interest in rotten eggs.
Oh, well, that is interesting. It says, and he turns away and goes back to comparing his results.
So, Mr. Cotton, what are the results?
Don't
What's
keep us hanging.
He holds his hand up. Just a moment. We can't rush these things. I need to be sure. The two archaeologists kind of shrug and they go back upstairs.
got right idea?
Can I have a look at the door?
Yeah.
Does it look like it's been opened recently? Any
It
scratch marks on the
looks
floor? Or
the padlock is certainly in a good condition. It's well oiled and well looked after.
okay. That's for a door that never gets opened.
How big is the door? Is it like a door size, or is it a big door?
It's probably almost square. It's about just over. It's almost 4 feet wide and about as high, and it's kind of set down. So there's like a few steps that go down that go down below the level of the cellar floor, so it's like set down and in the wall. So it's probably about the top 2 foot of the door is above the level of the cellar floor.
I mean, depending on if you can actually get in these tunnels, and if they do go everywhere, Adler could have brought Flora down here and then moved her through the tunnels, because nobody seems to have seen them. Or did somebody see him, but they didn't see her, did they?
Yeah, I think so.
There's like they've come here and then they seem to have disappeared, apart from him having the altercation with his not father.
Right, so Mr. Cotton suddenly stands up and says, looks a little, maybe looks a little bit annoyed that you're not. Doesn't seem to be showing any interest in his experiment anymore. He says, "Well, you'll be relieved to know at least there's no traces of any toxic gases here. There's no sign of any traces of any hydrogen sulfide. So safely rule out having to venture into the tunnels down here at least." And he picks up his equipment and just like walks off.
So are we okay to smoke, old chap?
I already am.
He shrugs and says, "Well, I suppose so."
Yeah, he was blowing smoke in his face all throughout the conversation. You missed it.
So yeah, Mr. Cotton goes back upstairs. It seems a little disappointed that you didn't share his enthusiasm.
I'll open the door and go into the tunnels in that case.
Okay. Yeah, so the key turns easily in the lock. The padlock easily opens, and the door's quite heavy. It takes a bit of effort, but when you have to push it, it opens away from you. You push it open as you do. There's like cold air. It's really dank, cold air comes out. Almost like probably a faint draft.
Jake, do you want to grab a couple of those lanterns?
I think, yeah, the lanterns, I mean, we didn't take them, but yeah. I mean, we didn't bring them back upstairs. We just extinguished them and put them on the side. So now, yes, we can take the lanterns and light them and bring them in. Do I smell anything or is it just very cold air?
It's just it smells unpleasant. It's like sort of dank, stale hair. It smells damp and but yeah. But it's the air is really cold.
Right. Now I understand that kind of the lock is it wraps around the door, and what, a hook on the other side? Like, how is it?
So
how
there's
is it
like
locked?
so it's basically like a hasp with the padlock goes through.
Okay,
But why
so
would you keep the door in such good repair and oil if you never go through it?
well, obviously they do go through it, but what I think I'd like to do is uh, lock the lock in the hasp so that the door
People,
can't close, and
I
take the
like
key with us.
that plan.
Okay.
And I thought you mentioned a chain, but if there is a chain, I would take the chain with me. But if there's no chain, then
No,
that's
that's it. She had
equally
it.
as fine.
Her keys were on a chain.
I see. Okay, so we just have the key.
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So let's see.
So, what time in the evening are we talking now? About 9ish?
It's after 9. So glancing at your watch, it's just coming at just after 9:10.
And what time do we think the pub is going to close?
Oh, it'd be no earlier than 10:30, 11 o'clock. Where are we?
She's going to come looking for us, isn't she? Because she's going to see he's just gone back upstairs.
It depends whether he goes off to bed in a sulk.
Yeah, he probably will
Or,
go back to his own room, so she might not see him. So we might be all right for a bit. I'm not
What's
too
the worst that can happen? Is she going to try and eat us?
No. If she is in league with Alda, we don't want her running off and warning him.
Hmm.
And I don't. We can't go to sleep here tonight. Getting up first thing in the morning to go out there when during the night she might bugger off and tell him.
Are there any sort of footprints
No.
or signs that somebody's been down here recently?
So there's no footprints. It's pretty clear. I mean, it's all cut through the stone. The tunnel. I mean, it goes down. So beyond the door, there's like a few more steps that descend maybe about another 5 feet. And this where the steps are wide, almost twice as wide as the actual tunnel that runs off from the bottom of the steps. So the tunnel is kind of got sloped walls that narrow towards the top, and there's there's rotting wooden beams that are still partially intact. At its tallest, it's maybe about 4 foot high, and only 2 to 3 foot wide. These tunnels.
Well, I don't think we're going to go exploring through them.
Well, does it look like there's any tracking on the floor, like where, somebody may have pushed a wheelbarrow, or there might have been some sort of cart
I
for moving stuff?
suppose you could make a spot hidden roll. Maybe if you get an extreme difficulty. I mean, because like I say, it's all stone. There's no dirt on the floor or anything like that. Oh my word! Oh,
I break my legs. I think I might have busted a nose.
Look for a. He might have left us a trail of toothpicks.
Okay.
I poked my eye with the toothpick.
Okay, so Jay, you sort of like head into the step into the tunnel a little bit and sort of peering into the darkness. As you do, you put your hand up onto one of these ancient wood oak beams like supports, and as you do put your weight on it, it just comes away in your hand, and a rock drops. Bit of rock comes loose and drops, and just like clonks you straight on the head, and you take a point of damage, and like you feel a bit of. It's like, oh, you feel maybe a slight a small gash on your head.
Oh, that's why
I
miners wear
earned that.
helmets.
I earned that.
But you do spot something.
Blood.
A few feet off, just in where it's beyond, almost beyond the range of the little bit of light that's like you've got with you. You can see a piece of paper on the floor, but it's maybe about maybe 10, 15 feet ahead, just at the edge of the this like pitch black darkness that
Careful,
swallows
it
up the
might
rest
be
of
a
the tunnel.
trap. Gerald, go and have a look.
Are we are we lighting the lanterns at this point?
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll light a
I thought we
lantern.
already had, to be honest with you.
Well,
don't
yeah,
fancy
because
being
you
in
said
the
he
dark.
described it as pitch black, so I want to make sure that we have some
Yeah, I
illumination.
assume you got one of the oil lamps lit.
How, like a sheet of paper are we talking about, or a little
It's a
sliver
small
of paper?
a small piece, a few inches across.
I'll go retrieve it and pass it back.
Okay. What are you doing
'cause
with
I
the
know it's
door?
very narrow.
Leave it open.
Yeah, again, the lock is locked on the hasp, so nobody can close
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah. So they could close it, but
Unless
they
they
couldn't
have
lock
another
it.
key.
Yeah. But we'll leave it open for now.
Ah,
Okay,
but could
so this
could you
it's
close it and wedge it
it looks like a packing label.
No, because it opens
into
inwards
the tunnel?
into the tunnels.
Oh. Shipment
Tree Cliff Mine.
unprocessed Blue John?
Ah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's unsort.
Unprocessed Blue John.
No.
Weight £65. That's quite a lot of
That is quite a lot of Blue John.
Blue John.
The more arm.
Do you know what Blue John is, Jake?
No, sorry.
Oh, it's like looks like sort of like
It's
quartz, but it
fluorite.
is really blue.
It's a thing round. Well, it's
So
Castleton,
Blue John
isn't
is
it?
a rare form of fluorite with bands of purple, blue, or yellowish colour. It's found in the UK only near Castleton in Derbyshire.
That's a claim to fame for Castleton, and it's got good camping as well.
Yeah.
And once one processes Blue John,
It's basically it's a precious stone.
it's a natural, it's
I see.
crystal stone, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more valuable than diamond. No, it's not.
I'm wondering if this is made to make a blue substance to coat bodies in to preserve them. That it was crystalline and blue, and we observed that.
Yes, it's possible.
Why?
So
It doesn't. In the real world, it has no use, does it? They just make
No, it's just
knickknacks
pretty.
and yeah.
So the question is, did they bring Blue John into this mine for some reason to prove a discovery that there could be something in there, or
How old does this piece of paper look? Because I mean, it looks old.
it's stained. It's stained and torn, but it doesn't look. It doesn't look that old.
How unfortunate that the date's obscure, being ripped away.
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
So they've had.
I mean, the
this has
parcel
been
stamp. The
delivered
parcel
here.
stamp gives you some idea. So it's recent. These are you.
I'd say it's the Midland Railway.
And the
Yeah.
price of the stamp the price of stamp seems current.
okay? I mean, if we don't see any other remnants of paper where I found this, then let's proceed.
We can ask Polly what she wanted it for. It's been delivered to
Yeah.
her premises, isn't it? And if it wasn't her, it used to belong to her parents, did it not?
Yeah.
So I did
Treek.
because I had a picture of the tunnel and now I can't find a picture of the tunnel.
I think we need to carry on.
Yep, I agree.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. We're down in these horrible, dark, dangerous tunnels, and Charles is snoring his head off.
Where is it?
At least there'll be one of us to carry on.
Yeah, unless Polly tops him.
That's true.
She'll put him into a pie.
There we go. It's not the exact one, but it's.
It wasn't actually venison.
Yeah, I thought it
It
a bit
was-
funny.
Let's see if I can find a better one. Really, no, they had a real good picture of what the like some medieval mining tunnels, and now
Peculiar.
we've lost it. So I'll have to use this one that isn't exactly right, but it's close, I suppose. It's really annoying because it's got all copyright stuff all over it. Yeah, I'll have to use this one. I apologise for all the like image copyright things all over it because it's not the actual one I had. But oh, I'll do. We'll have to use this one. Maybe that one.
What are we thinking as a direction? I know we're just in a single tunnel, but if it starts to branch off, which I imagine it will do, what we're going to do?
Split up and look for clues.
Good thinking.
See, I would be tempted to head towards the manor house. If we can tell what direction it was.
So it will require some kind of navigate roll, which of course will be at least require a hard difficulty underground because you've got no point of reference or anything.
I can navigate by the stars anywhere on the world.
I'm gonna fight you on this one.
I've got
Hard.
a corking 10%.
No,
Oh,
it's this way.
You could
it's
have
this way.
one of you could have aided. 12%. I think that's spend some luck time. Gerald, spend some luck.
Yeah. How much luck would you like me to spend?
Well, you only need to spend 2 to get a success. Might it be worth
You need a hard
spending-
success for the. For
Oh,
this.
hard success 7 then. That's right, isn't it? Oh no, half skill, isn't it?
You know
Hard.
what? Let's just see where it takes
Or
us.
do we just-
may need to navigate later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to use navigate straight away because there's no. Yeah. There's for the moment
but
all
it
there is this tunnel. This tunnel going in one direction.
So you know what? There was this rock that hit my head. Okay.
You lucky rock.
I'm going to assume either it broke off part of my head, or maybe my head broke off part of the rock. I would like to take a small piece of rock,
Okay.
and I think I'm going to mark the direction every so often on the wall with a
Okay.
scratch mark. And I'd like to also see if anybody has done this prior to me. So I'm going to look at the rock sides to see if I notice any scratch marks that somebody else might have made when navigating. Because it just occurred to me that if I thought to do this, more intelligent people than me, and there are many of them out there, would have thought to do the same. Perhaps one Frank Adler.
I would presume Polly knows these
Her way
tunnels
around.
because she's lived here. She will.
Yeah,
have
but why? What
she-
I mean,
She will have shown him the tunnels.
perhaps.
But we do. I'm looking at the ground more so than the walls because I just want to see if there
Yeah.
are any more toothpicks.
See, I would have thought scratch marks would probably people who don't really bother at junctions.
I mean
But
that's
think we need
the
to-
intent, to kind of look in the
Yeah.
obvious places that you might have put
Yeah.
them as we
So
go through the tunnels.
this is kind of what the
Like-
tunnels are like. This is not the exact thing. Like I say, I had some proper, actual medieval mine working tunnels, but this is kind of what it looks like, similar.
Lovely.
So it's in places there's debris and stuff that's like causes the tunnels to narrow and forcing you to crawl on your stomachs to get through gaps.
Are you kidding me? I've got changed.
Yeah, you're not going to get through. You're not going to get through here without getting dirty.
No.
But yeah, so some places the tunnels are partially collapsed, and you have to like squeeze through to one side, or like crawl through, or duck down and crawl under like places where the tunnels are partially collapsed from above. And like I said, the only things that holding this place together is the fact that it's cut from the rock, and every so often there's these rotting wooden supports, like ancient looking pieces of wood.
Maybe I can't seem. There's no way he could have brought her through here, is there? Like if she was drugged, he just wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't think. We'd see signs of it anyway, wouldn't we, if we were crawling through?
Well, you can, like I say, you can look for signs.
Spotted him.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, why not?
See if we're crawling through things,
Yeah,
looking for signs of somebody else going before us
You
recently.
would have thought so.
Um,
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so some of these, probably even just the first spot where you come to, there's like quite a lot of debris fallen, partially blocking the tunnel. Like I said, the tunnel, even when it's not blocked, the tunnel's only like about 2 to 3 feet wide. There are signs that somebody's passed this way.
even the one where we've had to like crawl through.
Yeah.
Oh.
On a
Thanks for going in the right
25%
direction.
pass, which I think is extreme, can I tell how many there are and what colour underpants they were wearing?
That would require a tracking.
And where they're dragged.
I'll give that a whirl.
My spot hidden's revealed that you've moved through the tunnel before me.
Sadly, my tracking did not go as well as my spotting.
Okay, so it's not too long. Maybe been sort of going for about 10-15 minutes, and now you're just in this sort of just like this island of light. To ahead of you and behind you, there's just like pitch black, and you're wet. Your clothes are starting to get damp. There's like water seepage coming down the walls and dripping from the ceilings, and it's starting to pool on the floor in places. Some points it's getting to like a few inches deep, and it's at this point that the tunnel, you come to a junction in the tunnel, and it goes off in it carries on ahead, roughly ahead, maybe bending off to your right slightly, but there's also a tunnel going off to your left and right as well. Although the one to the left, the floor, it looks like part of the floor is partially collapsed, and there's just this gaping hole in the floor.
Which way do the tracks go?
That's a good question. You can make a track roll.
Track or spot hidden?
It will be a track roll to follow tracks. So you spotted some, they have some signs, but to actually be able to follow them, you would need to make a tracking roll.
Yeah, I'm going to try the tracking as well as you call attention to it.
So don't forget, you can either make individual rolls or you can assist by... Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
go Jake.
You know, they taught us stuff about tracking.
Just come back to you.
Okay. Right, so yeah, you're able to... not tracks as such, but signs of passage. Somebody perhaps passing through tunnels. So you choose that tunnel and head off. Eventually you
Put
lose
a marker down for when
Okay.
we come back
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah, they're little scrap.
Really,
No little splinters of
A
wood
really
to be
big
found though on the ground anywhere.
obvious marker.
Okay. Yeah.
That
No
bit-
problem.
like the big hole in the floor.
Yeah,
But yeah, you
Is
can. You
not
can.
this
There's
way.
plenty of things you can. You could use to make a pile of rocks or whatever. Plenty of things like that, or bits of wood. If you want to. Maybe
I'm
if you want
going
to pull some of the supports down.
Did you say there was a hole in the floor? Did you not?
Yes.
A gap.
There's
And
down one of the tunnels. It looks like the floor's collapsed.
it looks like a collapse. There's nothing. Like the ceilings collapsed into the hole.
No, the floor. The actual floor of the tunnel's collapsed.
Oh, floor of the
So there's a
tunnel.
different. There's another level underneath where the one we're at now.
Oh, I'm glad I've bought this 30-foot of rope.
Can I drop a stone down the hole? See how deep it is.
Yeah, so it almost instantly clatters against rock, and you can see like about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet down with a lamp, but you can hear it kind of like hear it bouncing and clattering for quite a while till it just it either stops or it goes too far. It's gone that far that you can't hear it anymore.
And it definitely looks like the floor has
Yeah,
collapsed.
it's been some kind of like collapse.
Maybe we should come back in the daylight so we can see better. Harry's not scared.
But yeah, so
I
you've
was almost
got.
like, that's a good idea.
Oh, let
Wait a
me
minute.
turn off the. If there's any pub patrons down here.
Actually, I'm going to make a really obvious pile of stones
Uh-huh.
with an arrow pointing back towards the pub.
Okay.
And I'm also going to scratch, like down by the floor, a substantially more subtle mark
Okay.
on the. Not that I'm paranoid,
I mean,
but they are out to get us.
that big hole in the floor could be really dangerous if you're running around in the dark.
Mhm.
You know, if you're in a hurry,
What, running from something? for
running,
instance?
and you lost your bearings, that could be rather dangerous. But if there was a pile of stones in front of it that would help you trip down the hole.
Okay. So yeah, like I say, you choose this following this tunnel that you think is the one they've gone down.
No,
Somebody's gone down, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
So you take this right-hand tunnel then, and it's not long before you lose sight of any tracks because, like I said, there's water, but there's pools of water on the floor, and it's after a while you're walking almost constantly through like a few inches of water, which only makes the whole environment even less appealing. And again, it's not long before you come across more side tunnels. So you come across two section of this tunnel where there's two staggered tunnels, one to your left, one to your right, maybe about 10 feet, 5-10 feet between them.
I think we need to split up. Me and Jake will go that way. I'll just go back to make sure we've not missed anything. I don't know what we're doing here.
Well, I mean,
How far do
we're
we think we've
looking to
come?
tie
How
a few
far?
things together.
How far you're not sure, but you've looking at your watch, you've about half an hour.
Which means probably another 15 minutes before we have to head back because it'll be 10:30 by the time we get back if we've been traveling for a half hour. And I think a half hour is quite a while to go down a cave without a purpose. So whoever was using this before, we haven't really discovered the purpose yet.
We still haven't really got no we can't really prove Alda's done anything wrong, have we? Can we? Because
Well,
I mean, we
We're-
believe he has, but we can't. I mean, it's not. We can't really involve the police.
until we find Flora, or at least what happened to her, we need to find out if something has happened to Flora. Right now, it's a missing persons investigation
I
where
will
we're
go
finding.
with what you say, Detective.
Hmm.
So the decision is yours. I do want to
I
find
mean,
Flora.
Jake, I mean, you're obviously on the trail of Adler, who is a known criminal to you.
Yes, there's that, but I mean the safety of a person now is meaning I'm now looking for Frank, not because necessarily of economic
Priorities
crimes or other
changed.
crimes, but I just want to see what's yes, but yes, once we find him.
So
So yeah, so I'm going to continue down, I guess, where we're following. I mean, the floor is caved in. It goes to another level. That this is obviously an old mine shaft of sorts, I'm assuming.
I presume he's gone up though, because we know he's gone up to the top somehow to see his father, who's denying his father. So I don't want to be going down any halls. Not just
Okay,
yet.
so we'll continue like across the hole and down the path.
Yeah.
All right. Is that
Does
okay,
the hole look
everybody?
like the other one? Does it look like a cave in?
So there's no holes here.
Oh, there's not a hole here.
No, there's
Right,
two
we're not
staggered,
going down another
staggered
level.
tunnels.
Oh, two staggered tunnels. Well, we need to try and keep following a trail, don't we?
Okay, so there's no way, there's no trail to follow anymore. It's just like I said, the water seepage is leaving you stood, walking through like about several inches of water. So there's no
Check the
obvious trail.
So if it's staggered tunnels, just take the first one.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in which case I will ask one of you to make a navigation roll.
Who's got the most luck?
Well,
Who's feeling lucky?
somebody can somebody aid so they get
Yeah,
advantage?
yeah.
So it's still going to be
Yeah.
10%.
It will be a hard success.
Does can you spend luck on a roll that's been aided?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who rolls it, who wants to roll it. But you get a bonus dice. And then I've got
And then you can
39
either push
luck.
it or you can spend luck.
39 luck. What's everybody else got?
I have
Yeah.
more luck than that, so
Go for it, Jake.
I'll push it then.
So yeah, it's got to be
if
the
I
person
need to.
who makes a roll that can spend the luck, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh wow! Wow,
Ah.
fantastic!
On fire.
Beautiful.
Now that is interesting.
I'm impressed.
Wow.
That is a hard. Is that next? What? No, it's hard difficulty. Yeah.
You're obviously one of the
Yeah.
top agents from the American government. I can see this. It's an important job.
Yeah. Clearly, they only sent us the best.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't allow me to flag it. Okay. There we go. I flagged it at least. Wow. That is
Let me just check.
So the person that was crawling through here had a limp on its left leg and a patch over his right eye.
So you make some educated guesses as you're heading down this tunnel. So Jake leading the way, you take a few sort of turns and down various junctions. At one point, you come into an area that's widened out into like a small room, and there's some old really ancient-looking, rotting tools buried under some a partial collapse on one side of this cave.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere now.
And Jake, you get a definite sense that you've been heading downwards for to this up to this point. But as you
Okay.
lead the rest of your companions deeper into these tunnels, it seems to be leveling off again. In fact, possibly after going for another 5 minutes or so, you're pretty convinced it's gently heading upwards. At this point, you can all make everybody who's got a lantern can make a luck roll as well.
Oh, damn it.
How many lanterns have we got? 2.
3.
I've got
but,
one.
Got one each. I'm not sure if whether you've lit them all or if you've got a lit
Exactly.
lantern, then you make a luck roll.
Pass.
I would presume it's lit.
Oh,
There's not
well.
much point having it if it's not.
Flick, flick, flick.
Look,
If we'd had any
Guys?
sense, we would have had
Guys?
one lit at a
Guys?
time, so we didn't run out of oil.
no.
Did you have any sense? Oh dear me.
Of course, we didn't have any sense.
Okay, so
Wait, now roll luck to see if we brought a little oil.
so Jake and Harry, the flame in your lamps is
Well,
starts to
I've brought
gutter.
an electric torch. I don't know about you guys. It is 1920 after all, and we are searching for a missing person. I would have presumed somebody's got a torch.
You made a point of saying you're bringing the oil lamps down. You can,
And the torches.
if you can make a hard luck roll, you can.
No, I might have one upstairs, but I've
Yeah.
not. I didn't
Okay,
come
fair
down
enough.
into the basement one, did I?
Right. So yeah, they're not out yet, but they start to the flame starts to go down a bit, and you check the oil, and it's low. It's really low.
Oh,
There's
we'll be
not
fine.
much. You maybe got 10 minutes left.
We're starting to rise, so that means we're going to be going up out to like an entrance somewhere, and then we'll freeze to death in the open because we're in wet clothes.
Yes.
We'll be
So yeah,
fine.
your
We'll be
clothes
fine.
are wet. You're muddy. You're dirty. You got dirt all over your fingernails. It's and so you can make another navigation
We'll be
roll.
fine.
Oh,
Go on, expert navigator.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, pull that off twice. Is it aided or is it just
I believe it's aided. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right? We'll give it a shot. Although, no amount of luck will.
Okay. Do you want to push it? If you can come up with some means of pushing it.
Well, obviously, since my lantern is off and so is Harry's. Gerald, pass me the lantern. How do you expect me to navigate without it?
I mean, that's a plan with no drawbacks.
And that's the only way I could think to push.
Okay.
But
So
even
yeah.
if
So
I
maybe
push it,
get a bit better light. Maybe you backtrack a little bit and try one of the other passageways that you've passed.
oh, sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Maybe
dear.
we can find some medieval torches.
Yeah.
Well, this will be my first investigator that I lost in a series of caves. I just kind of
We've
ran
got.
out of food and water and
We're not-
expired here.
We'll be
We're not
fine.
dead
It might take us several days to find his way out, but we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Not as if there's a dragon roaming around, right?
So you're heading down this passageway, and as you come to like a bend, a sharp bend in this tunnel, and you can see there's a huge crack, like a rent running through the rock face on your left hand side.
Ooh.
And the support, one of the supports has buckled at some point. It looks quite recent as well, because the like break in the support is, you can see it's fresh for an old, really old piece of wood, it looks fresh. And as you're passing it, it suddenly the support beam just suddenly gives way, and the part of the tunnel that side of the tunnel just just starts to collapse, and you can make a luck
Run!
roll.
Oh,
If we could stop with the luck rolls, that would be awesome.
Oh my god!
but since my luck is over 50, it is not a critical failure.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Okay,
Jake is not very lucky
right.
today.
So
Luckier than Gerald.
Jake and Gerald, you get past this you charge forwards this huge, there's like part of the tunnel just like slides over and like collapse, like loads of rocks, huge chunks of rock come falling down, blocking off this tunnel. But as Gerald, one of the boulders like clips Gerald on the leg, and it just and you trip and you fall, and as you fall, all the debris just like piles out, just like falls on top of your legs, trapping you underneath, trapping your like your legs from just below the waist under
I
this
didn't
pile
need
of
him
rubble.
anyway.
I wish I had a hoe, and I wish he had a shovel.
Wish I had a hammer.
And you take 3 points of damage from it.
Oh, okay, I deserve that.
Harry, you're safe, but you're on the other side.
Is there anything for losing a third of your health in one go?
No.
No, it's sanity.
Yeah, of course it is.
So have I no visibility of either of them now?
You've got your lamp's still working. It hasn't run out.
No, I mean, has it like totally
Oh yeah.
collapsed?
So there's perhaps a small gap, maybe a few inches. You can see through, so they can see, and you can see the light of Jake's or the others' lamp light shining through.
So I'll shout through. I'll go and get help. If you can just both pass me your lanterns through that gap. Yeah, I mean you stay there. I'll take the light sources and I'll go back and get help. Because I would presume I know I haven't got enough oil in my
No, but there's not
lantern to
not
make
enough
it
oil
way.
left in your lamp to get you.
No, to get me back. So I can't go and get help because I'll end up getting lost and tripping over some rocks that somebody's left near a hole. Are you guys all right?
Not really.
Define all right.
Oh,
I think
Do we look all right?
you're still alive. I told you.
I'm over here.
This was a
My
stupid
leg is
idea.
over there.
I think I've broke my leg.
I told you we shouldn't have come. Oh shit.
Problem is, unless we investigate this fully, how do we ask for the key again?
How? I think that's at least of your problems.
Well, not really. I'm a curious. I have a curious disposition.
How far
Not that
back?
my disposition is curious, but I am curious by nature.
How far back were the tools? What we saw? There were some old tools.
Probably maybe about 15 minutes back.
That's
Ooh.
too far away.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe you.
You're pretty sure you could find your way back. You could find your way back to there. You're not so sure about finding your way all the way back to the entrance.
Oh well, I do have another light source. I do have some matches because I'm a pipe smoker. I'll have you know. And Gerald will have matches for his cigars.
They do. I've got a lighter.
I would suggest we could burn our clothes. but they're a bit
emerge
bit-
from the tunnels naked.
yeah, but they're a bit damp, aren't they, and a bit muddy.
Yes. Yeah.
Make a burn my pants. I just need to. I could make a torch out of like a tool handle and my pants. That'd work. Guys, I think we're in trouble.
Yeah,
Define
reckon.
trouble.
Are they able to get out of being buried alive? Can they move? Either of them move?
So, Jay, you think you could? You think you could probably dig Gerald out
All right.
without risking any further collapse.
Right. So
I've fallen and I can't get up.
So while he's doing that, I will turn my lantern off at my side, so I'm not using my lantern while he's digging him out.
Okay.
Make a luck roll for being able to turn it back on.
I can't find it. I'll put it down next to me.
It's
Shit,
stand
I
on it.
can't
Oh,
find
shit.
it. I can't see it. I'll knock it over. Break it.
Okay.
I've still got my damp matches.
So yeah, it maybe takes about 15-20 minutes. You manage to carefully dig Gerald out. Yeah, you try, and Gerald, your trousers are torn and bloody, and there's a quite a nasty gash on your leg. But luckily, somehow nothing seems to be broken.
My favourite brogues.
If we find this
Yeah, let's say you've
substance,
lost
we
the
can
shoe
rub
as
it on
well.
your leg to preserve you, so your leg doesn't decay.
Can what's on the other side then? What can they actually see? Are they just in a tunnel still?
Yeah, it's another tunnel. Just carries on.
Do we continue further then, or do we cut our losses and head back? I don't feel like we have much information other than there's a tunnel.
Am I going to risk trying to squeeze through the gap?
So you could maybe widen the hole big enough to squeeze through if you wanted to try.
And cause a total cave.
How much worse could it get?
Well, I don't really fancy just sat here in the dark, twiddling my thumbs while you two. Maybe Polly will come to the rescue. She'll have closed up, and then she'll see that we're not there, and she'll come downstairs. And because we didn't lock the door, she'll think, "Oh no, they've got lost in the tunnels," and she'll go for police and come and find us. No. Right. So, what do you suggest? Shall I try and climb through, or shall I wait in the dark?
But I'll help you widen the hole a bit and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's
Right.
let's stick together.
I'll try and dry myself off with my handkerchief. My wet handkerchief.
Take some of the shreddings of your pants and bind your wound, please.
How far is it between the cave over the cave-in? Can I pass my lantern across?
Oh yeah, it's not.
Right.
It's only a short. It's like maybe a few feet wide. This cave-in.
So I'll do that first, and then I'll try and squeeze through. So what do you want off me? A look?
And is there any compelling reason to do a first aid on Henry's leg?
I can try and first aid myself
because it's dropping off.
I don't know. Do I want to be mean and say have you got a first aid kit with you?
I've got a handkerchief, a lighter, and some cigars.
And some rusting nails.
I see.
Cauterize
a
it
paper
with a
clip.
I can lick it clean.
I would let you, if you want to do first aid, I will let you do a first aid, but it'll be hard. You'll need a hard difficulty because you've not got any, you're doing it with basically no first aid equipment.
I'm just trying to stop it falling off.
Yeah, bandage it up.
make a bandage out of his other trouser leg.
Okay, that. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't done myself any additional damage, is
No.
what we're saying.
No, so
We must look
you
so
wrap it up
cool.
with a dirty rag torn from your other trouser leg, perhaps.
You're now wearing shorts
Well, no, I mean, you know,
and one
to
shoe.
add insult to injury, of course, I'm going to. No, that's not how you do it. And this is also not how you do it.
Ah.
Yeah, you take an X point of damage.
How am I? So am I just climbing through, or do you want me to roll something?
No, you can if you take the time and you're careful about it. You can. It does. It's a bit hairy at first, but you're able to get through if that's what you want to do.
I'll be extremely careful. Yes.
So yeah, you make you widen it, make a wide enough hole for that. You could go. You know, you can get through to them, or they can come back through to you. So either way.
Oh, so which do you want to do? Do you want to come back through, or do we carry on? We're not going to be in the right good condition on the other side, are we?
Well, but
No, but
yeah, I think we carry on because otherwise this exercise has been for nothing.
Yeah.
well, worse than for nothing because
Well,
I'm down to
exactly.
like
It's been
half
good.
my hit points.
It's been
Exactly.
good group bonding. Been through an adventure together. Right.
And
Yeah, I
he's still
agree then.
asleep
So,
in his room.
yeah,
I am
carry on.
literally half dead.
I hate to put it to you, the other half of you doesn't look any better.
Oh God.
Okay, so you're continuing on then, have you?
Yeah.
Yes,
In
Okay.
for a
we are
penny.
gluttons, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. So you struggle on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Despite all the game masters hinting and
Can I take down? Can I find like a piece of wood to use as some sort of crutch?
yeah. I presume you're going to be careful not to take one of the supports that's actually actively supporting something.
That's a nice solid piece of wood.
I could just see the adventure
Ish.
saying, there is a door with a lock on it. It doesn't really actually go anywhere. Use your, imagination of where you want the players to go, and it bears nothing on the adventure at all. I just
We come to a dead end. Oh.
But you know,
never put a locked door in front of an adventure. That's what I say.
no.
I'm surprised we got through it.
I thought I did very well to
You did.
lead us all on a completely wild goose chase.
And as we continue through,
Yeah. So you continue through, and eventually you come across the
Room
passageway.
full of jewels and gold, and definitely no dragon.
So the passageway you're following eventually intersects with another one, and to your surprise, you also come across more signs of something. It looks like it's been dragged across the passageway that you've intersected. So it's been cut. This trail comes from the left, and out it goes, heads across down this tunnel to your right.
Also, it's
Shall
not
we
being
follow-
dragged up the tunnel what we're coming up.
No,
It's
perhaps
you obviously went
perhaps a
somewhere wrong.
bag of unprocessed blue john, maybe.
recently, would we think?
Yeah, you guess so, yeah.
Shall we follow it?
I think so.
Where
Okay.
it's going to? Yeah.
Right, so you follow it, and you're down to all but one of your lamps. The other two have like gutted out.
All but one of my legs.
and the oil is running low on the last one, and reducing your range of your vision just down to a few feet ahead of you. And you suddenly come to what looks like a dead end at first. But then looking up, you can see it's like it looks to be like a natural chimney.
Don't make
that's
me climb.
above you, and it's there's you can see definite scrape marks on the fresh scrape marks on the stone going up.
How big are we talking? Like a well
It's
size?
so it's a natural, like I say, naturally formed rock chimney or
Oh
fissure through
right,
the
I'm
rock.
thinking like like in
Could we
a brick chimney.
do
Oh
we
no,
feel
no.
fresh air coming from?
There is a slight draft, yeah, a slight breeze. Probably, yeah. Can clean. You can. Now you think of it, yeah. There's the clean air.
And
Uh,
how high are
You
we
can't
talking?
see. You can only see a few feet above you.
Mm,
Is there
I'm
any
in full.
handholds?
There
A
aren't
ladder?
any handholds and stuff, but it doesn't look. It looks quite easy. It looks like it's quite easy to climb. There's plenty of natural handholds, and you could. It's quite narrow, so it'd be easy to brace yourself against it. And it's not completely vertical. It because it tilts, and so it looks quite easy to climb up.
Well,
You climb up, Harry. Throw
Yeah.
us your rope.
I'll put my grappling hook on end of my 30-foot rope and see if I can get a connection at the top. Right, I'll try and climb up then.
Okay.
20. Oh, jeez.
So you can add a bonus dice because it's like I say, it's an easy climb.
Still not going to help, is it? So that's it's not difficult. I'll be fine.
In fact, no, I don't.
yeah, I think I'd like to help him climb up if I can.
Yeah, I'm not. Forget the roll. It's like I
Just
say,
just say it's an easy climb.
it is an
Um,
easy climb. There's no need to roll. There's no need to roll. So long as
Are you
so long as
sure?
yeah.
I'm quite willing.
If for no other reason than to have the opportunity to show off how great I am at climbing and to make that little check mark available to me to become even better at it.
And you now we're both at the top. You do realise that the guy with the damaged leg is at the bottom. It's at the bottom. We'll get help.
As planned.
Ah.
So you can between you, like I say, it's not a bad climb. Between you can easily
It's like
help
that, you see,
Gerald up.
fellas.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you can. It's a bit of a struggle. It takes you some time, but it's not too hard to get gelled up. You know, you could have maybe even done it if he was unconscious.
And sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
So when you finally drag yourselves out at the top of this natural rock chimney, you find yourselves in a small space at the back of what appears to be the back of a larger cave. And as you look, you can see the night sky ahead of you.
But no. Oh, wait. Who said they could navigate by the stars? I
I did.
distinctly remember somebody saying that. I believe it was
was me.
Gerald. Gerald, where are we?
Sheffield.
Do you want to go outside?
I believe we're somewhere south of the Azores.
I just want to I don't want to go outside of the cave. I just want to let's check the cave if there's anything in the cave.
Yeah.
Any
Good idea.
footprints?
Yeah, anything
Any
been dropped
big
left. Like
Jars
any
of
big
oil.
crates?
a tied up woman, anything.
No,
A dragon?
there's nothing here other than bits of detritus like old leaves that are blown in, maybe a few animal bones that are left by a fox or something like that. But other than that, no, there's nothing here.
No sign of anything being dragged?
Not clearly, no.
How about
So-
unclearly?
So the cave's quite large, so you could probably easily carry something through here rather than having to drag it anyway.
Do we have was there a moon? What kind of
It is a
can't remember
moon
what was said.
out. Yes, there is a waxing crescent moon out tonight.
So what do we see outside of the cave entrance? Are we
Okay,
in the
so
middle
looking
of nowhere?
outside, in the distance, straight, almost directly, away from you, away from the cave, this
We've come out
entrance,
in the privy.
you can see, you can see below you. You can see Warncliffe's side.
Oh, so
Maybe a couple of miles away.
I just think how
Looking
warm
behind
those
and
beds.
above you, you appear to be at the crags.
The crags.
Ah,
Where was the groundsman's place supposed to be?
It
Was that
was
near the
on the
crags?
moorland above the crags.
Oh, above the crags. Oh, right. Oh, well, that's good. We'll be able to get to the groundskeeper's place first thing.
yeah.
I
Get a head
don't.
start.
I don't think. I mean, we can see Warncliffe's side. Would we be able to make his way down there, or would that be too dangerous?
You might be able
Well,
to.
we could go back through the tunnels.
We could.
So below you is almost a 2 mile stretch of moorland and woods, and across there's the you can just make out the moon reflecting off the River Don as well.
There's loads of like bits of wooden detritus and leaves and chisel. Can we not make ourselves a nice warm fire?
You could quite easily make yourself a fire inside this cave, yeah.
And, Jake could go and hunt us a brace of rabbits.
We could.
No, this is not that game system.
I've got.
But we don't
I've got
have.
pork scratchings.
Do we have any idea which way is? Like, we don't see any signs of habitation anywhere. Smoke
Yeah, we
coming
can
out,
see-
light from a fire or a window or something.
There's possibly some lights in the right. Like I say, you can see Warncliffe side right, a few miles away. And there's maybe
But nothing else around the area.
not immediately. Your vision, your sort of view is kind of obscure because, like I said, back directly behind you, the crags rise up. So all you can see clearly is directly in front of you and somewhere to the left and right.
Any other caves around the area? If we're looking at the cliff face, maybe
It's hard to tell, possibly, but it's really there's a little bit of moonlight, a bit of starlight because it's quite a clear night, but it's it's really dark out here.
I don't see any reason not to head back and walk back here during the day.
Apart from falling down and breaking my other leg,
Well, is there
is
no
my only other
safe?
concern.
So do we want to go back in the cave? It's only 2 hours. We'll get a proper night's sleep with the rest of the night. We'll be back by 1.
We'll have been locked out.
Yeah, chances are you'll have been locked out.
Oh.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine.
Why would we have been locked out, though?
Well, because she'll have locked up.
No, fine, but we're still coming from inside.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. So going back through the tunnel?
Yeah.
Without a lantern.
We've got no light source. That's not going to work.
You don't remember which way you came from? All right, let's make a fire here. I'll collect wood. If we're gonna be here,
I mean,
let's make the best of it.
If we can see Warncliffe side, we could walk back down into the village across the moorland. If we've got,
I'm just concerned by the description of lots of rocks and the river.
As long as we don't fall like through a mine shaft or anything like that, we'll be okay. Otherwise, it's like camp out until it's daytime and then make his way back down. But got to think about. She knows where we've gone into the tunnels and we haven't come back. So what is she going to do?
Yeah.
Obviously, she might. I don't know. Would she come into the tunnels herself? But she's not going to get very far because of the cave-in. Oh, Cat, what are you doing?
How much can we trust her?
I don't trust her at all.
No.
And then Charles is there, isn't he? So go down during the night, or we could go back first thing in the morning.
So while you're discussing
I
this,
don't know.
there's
Bear.
a bear from an escape circus.
There's no
Escape from
bears.
the
The wolves ate all the bears.
A torch beam cuts through the darkness above you, and glancing up, you briefly catch sight of somebody stood at the top of the crags, scanning about with a torch.
That's not good. I feel that they haven't come to rescue us.
Just a single torch.
Yeah.
Oh, we could probably have them.
Maybe he's waiting for Polly,
Maybe.
because she wouldn't have taken as long as we've taken, and wouldn't have had the accidents that we've had. And she would have not tried using the tunnels if she thought we were down there. So maybe this is Mr. Alder. How far away?
Not far. It's maybe about 40 feet above you.
Maybe we could signal with the lantern.
To what end, though? Why?
To lure them down here.
I definitely want to know who's out here at this hour and why, without alerting them to the fact that I'm down here.
Well, that's my plan's not going to work then. I was going to say, signal him with your gun. I don't know. Do we stay? Just to see what he does. Just stay within inside the cave, so we've got a vision of him, and just see if he comes closer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should plan to pursue if we see he's getting further away.
So is he looking at the cave, like towards the cave?
So you can see you can see his figure, and he's stood at the minute. He's stood on the edge of the crags above, almost directly above, and he's scanning around where he stood, but also like down below him as well.
He may have dropped his toothpick. Might be looking for it.
So as you watch, he stands there for maybe a couple of minutes, and then starts following the edge of the crag, away away from you in a northerly direction. And
Well, the plan was to pursue if he was
after a
moving
moment,
away.
you lose sight of him as he veers away from the edge of the crag.
Should we go up and have a look?
However, before we do that, he was looking down towards here, so he may have dropped something, which may actually be down here first then. So let's look around this area first. If we don't find anything, try to climb up and see if we could find what he missed. Would you like a spot hidden roll?
If that is what you're going to do, yes, you can give us a spot hidden roll. I would require, if there is something to find, I would require a hard spot hidden roll because it's dark.
Pardon me.
Okay, that's a failure.
Hard is
Okay.
half, isn't it? I always forget. So that's a regular. I'll spend the luck.
You need 2.5 luck to spend.
So is that 3, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it'd be
Down to 36.
3 then.
Let's see if the 3 gamble was paid off.
No, there's nothing.
Now we got to go do the same thing, but above us.
So you want to climb up the crag?
Does it
No.
look like it would be difficult to do without light, or is it easy?
It's not. Well, obviously, it's not going to be as easy as it would be during the day, but it doesn't look terribly dangerous.
So I'm only plummeting 40 feet to my death if I fall?
Yeah, how much of a drop are we talking? How many feet?
So, well, maybe a sheer drop of about 30 feet, and then maybe another 10 feet bouncing off rocks and boulders.
Well,
That
it's only
sounds
like,
reasonable. I'll take that risk.
it's only like being hit
fine.
with a
Just
shotgun.
the
you'll be
one
fine.
climb roll's needed, though.
I actually was in my school university climbing team 40 years ago.
In 1880?
No, actually, I'd only been 7 then. 30 years ago.
All right.
Are you seriously going to climb up there in the dark?
No,
No.
not at all. I think it's safe to try to find maybe some wood around the area. If we could perhaps build a fire so we could survive the night here. That might... We have debris and leaves, which makes good kindling. And let's just try to gather some branches and some woods amongst these crags.
But if he comes back, he'll see the fire light, surely.
Correct. That's a chance we have to take. Unless you
could
feel
probably-
otherwise, Jim.
You could probably, do it safely right at the back of the cave, because it's quite, near the area where you climbed up.
What if I call him back?
In your best Polly voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say,
Frank,
it's your little
dove, it's your little dove.
Well, I'm convinced.
I could impersonate a voice. I'm sure it would. Frank.
Oh, never know the difference.
that is quite sinister.
Well, I'll let you two build a fire while I keep watch, just in case he comes
Alright.
back to the
Yeah.
top of the crags. And if he comes back, we might have to do something.
Okay, so
Quick disguise, and we'll be fine.
Pretend to be sheep.
So you keep watch while the other two build a fire,
Yeah.
which, like I say, it's not a problem. You've got matches. There's plenty of kindling and stuff to make a fire. Maybe not a big fire, but enough to keep you a little, sort of stave off the cold, because it is bitterly cold. But you never see this figure again. You maybe catch sight of a torch beam briefly at one point again, but other than that, you never see him again. And so you pass a freezing cold night up on the crags. Probably
So-
get little to no sleep at all. So you're probably cold, freezing cold, aching, hungry, and you will have at least for the next few hours until you get some proper rest and get warm. You will have a penalty dice on any physical rolls.
I thought we'd have woken up fully
Relax.
Refreshed.
Re-
Yay!
Ready?
and raring to go. Oh my god.
I personally can't believe how well this has gone.
It couldn't have gone any better. Right then, so oh my god. What are we doing? Are we going back
Breakfast?
down to breakfast? some
Go back to the inn. Go, hi, Paul. Yeah, we've just been out for like a quick morning walk just to wake ourselves up.
We got
Any
lost
chance of a
on our
sausage
way
and
back
egg
from the
sandwich?
outhouse.
Yeah. all
You know,
three
right.
lads.
So, yeah,
Oh god.
Jonathan, Harry, went to the toilet in the middle of the night, but he was taking ages. So I went to make sure he was all right, but I locked myself out. So I had to like throw some gravel at the window, and Jake came to help us out, but he was stumbling around and he locked himself out. So all three of us ended up locked in the outhouse all night, and that's definitely what happened. And then I fell down it.
We basically look like we've been fighting in the trenches.
And you've got the key to the door in the cellar that you said you were going to take back after 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, she'll want that back. Don't lose that.
I was misled.
So, oh my god. So, are we going back down into Wantley side, or shall we try and get up
Just
them?
how about let's just catch a train back to London and pretend none of this ever happened.
Yeah, just go back. We'll tell her. We'll tell her grandmother she's actually head over heels with this Alder chap, and he's actually quite a decent bloke. There's nothing to worry about.
It's all fine.
It's all
Everything
fine.
is fine.
Isn't that correct, Agent? Agent.
Oh, Jake, it's all. I think I just want to have a nice little lie down in a warm room. I missed my night sleep, and that's what I want.
Okay, so stepping outside your comfortable cave and looking about, you can now clearly see Warncliffe side below you, and you can see a way, clearer a way to get down, and where you'd have to detour, how much of a detour you'd have to make to get to a bridge to get over to cross the river. Looking at your more immediate surroundings, you can see to your right, going north along the crags. The crags extend for quite a while, and you can't really see. It looks quite rough terrain.
Is there a way round them?
Whereas to your left, you can see there's a way. The height of the crags dips, and there's a way up and round to the top of the crags.
Well,
and in the distance, further to the south, you can see a farm and a road that runs to the farm and possibly up to the back to the back of the crags as well.
And that's breakfast at the farm. While we're up here, we might as well carry on, haven't we, gentlemen?
Agreed.
The farm will surely give us some warmth, some assistance. We freshen up.
So the farm's closer than Warcliffe side. Probably not much further closer, but probably maybe about half the distance.
But if it's well, let's make his way round the crags then, and then can we decide when we get?
Well, I'm wondering. This is likely the farms where they found the bodies, correct?
It could be.
I think that's the next. Because, again, mummies in the moor. It might have been this one. So why don't we go and see if there are signs of excavation, and the team of colleagues of the professor. Then when we get back, we could say, "Oh, we were at the excavation site." Duh! Look at how we look. Yeah.
You've got Gerald in a pair of shorts.
So they might even have a spare pair of trousers.
And a spare shoe.
They would likely have a first aid kit. Not like they could use it on the mummies.
I'm just thinking if we get to the top of the crags, we might be able to see the groundskeeper's place.
Oh.
We could have breakfast there, you see.
Smart. I like that idea, yeah, for sure.
I think that we should do that.
Okay.
Farmhouse as backup.
So what you're
Point
doing?
of
Heading your way,
retreat.
making your way south around the bottom of the crags.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So it's maybe only takes you about half an hour picking your way between the boulders, through the scrubland and having to avoid like patches of brambles here and there. And you're able to get to a point where you can safely scramble up a lower part of the crags. And looking round, you can see moorland stretching out running along the top of the crags and further out to the east. And to your right, you can see this farmhouse below you, maybe about half a mile away now. And there's a road. You can see a road that runs from the farmhouse down towards the river, and a bridge that crosses it back over towards Warncliffe side. To your left, you can see the road runs further up from the farm, turns into a track, and runs up to a low stone cottage up on the moorland.
Alright.
So we make our way towards that.
Yeah, the Lowstone Cottage. How many people? I would say yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You can always rob the place.
You know, you might be able to find a pair of trousers,
Shoes.
perhaps.
Yeah. Pair of wellies.
I think the evening has affected Gerald somewhat. Just go and do a burglary.
All I want is a welly.
A single welly.
Not much to ask, just a single welly.
Single Wellington boot. So, what are you doing? You approaching this cottage then?
Yes.
Are we approaching it directly, or should we kind of?
Tell
Is
you
there
what,
any
you
any
guys-
cover? Any trees?
I'm going on account of I look like some sort of scarecrow
We just look like normal
with one
ramblers.
shoe. I'm going to approach it directly. Maybe you guys should like stay out of sight. And
Yeah,
maybe
I
go
like that
around the
idea.
back
That's
and see.
that's a really good
But-
idea.
I am very obviously no threat to anybody.
You're like an escaped madman, whereas
Yeah.
and you'll draw the attention.
I mean,
Yeah.
even long
That's-
Tom is going to feel some degree of sympathy for me. And,
I think that's a
and
brilliant
that
idea.
I
I don't-
look a bit rough.
I don't think anything could go wrong with that idea.
You know, Cat Weasel looks like a member of the aristocracy compared to me.
So while he's bald as brass, making his way towards this
Staggering, I think.
cottage,
Limping.
we'll try and stay
Observe.
observe, but try and stay out of sight. But I still want to try and get close to the cottage if possible, see if there's any cover.
Yeah, oh god, there's plenty.
Okay.
It's all like heather bushes and
yeah,
whatever,
it's,
so-
it's not it's not completely flat and smooth. There's like dips and there's
No,
other there's other like bits of exposed rocks from the crag. Crag.
I've done grouse beating before. It's freaking horrible terrain, and you can disappear in ditches and all sorts
Yeah,
of stuff.
there's loads. Yeah, it'd be easy to. You could probably get quite
Horrible.
close without being seen. So you do that as Gerald limps towards the lodge in a more direct route. You stumble onto the track that eventually leads back down to the farm, and also appears to lead directly up to this lodge. And as you're heading up, the track takes you round so you can see the front of the lodge, and as you come into view of the like door at the front of the lodge, you see this tall, gangly figure suddenly like bounding away from the lodge,
Oh, it's Gerald's friend.
and it just this unnatural like looking long-gated walk, like huge, like long gangly legs. That almost looks like I can best like Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas. How he runs.
Well, that's something to do.
So
is he
Jake
going away
and,
from
Jake
us?
and
Harry.
Harry. I think he's got the wrong name on your character. It says James Kenny.
That's that's Jimmy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's wrong. Got wrong name on. I'll have to correct that. So yeah, you don't see this.
Right.
You wouldn't see it. It's yeah, you can't see it. You're seeing it from the other side.
Did you say he ran from the cottage, even though I haven't seen it?
He's going away.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Ran
going
from the
away.
cottage, further deeper into the moorland, and yeah, you lose sight of him because he like disappears down a dip.
Okay. Carry on.
Okay, right. So when you get to the cottage, the door, you can see the front door is slightly ajar.
I'll knock and stick my head round the corner.
As soon as when we see that he's reached the cottage, we might as well run up, haven't we?
Hello.
Okay, right. So you get to the cottage. So there's a smaller side building that just looks like a storage shed, wood store. And the actual main part, the living area of the cottage, is this one roomed small building. You push open the door, and you can see the interior is quite cramped but quite cosy. There's
Is it warm?
It is quite warm. It's still warm. There's a log, even though there's a log burning stove, and it's gone out, but there's still embers in it, and it's you almost forget yourself. Oh, is that warm? That welcoming. You almost walk in without thinking.
I'll walk in without thinking.
Okay, right.
I'll shout, "Hello! Anybody there?"
So as you walk in, you can see some suitcases. There's a couple of small travel suitcases pushed against the wall near the bottom of the bed, and you can see some more suitcases pushed underneath the bed. And
Any
there's somebody laid in the
labels
bed.
on them? Oh, hello.
Might be some trousers for you to put on, or a dress.
Yeah, are they wearing trousers?
You can't see them. You can just see somebody laid under the covers in the bed. You can just see the shape of somebody in the bed.
They put some trousers over the chair next to the bed.
There's also above the fireplace. There's a gun rack with three spots, but two of the guns are missing. There's just a single rifle left, and in front of the window there's a small like a writing desk, and there's papers scattered across the desk.
The suitcases, have they got like luggage tags?
Yeah, you'll have to go right next to the bed. You have to go over to the bed to have a look.
I'll go over to the bed and have a look.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you can hear this, whoever it is in this bed is like, you can hear and see them breathing. You can't see the face because they're like covered, almost completely covered by the sheets.
Does it sound male or female?
Hard to tell. It's faint. It's quite faint breathing.
Okay.
You're gonna scare them to death. You stood there.
Monster, monster!
Go on your trousers.
So as you approach bed and you look down.
I'm going to be fairly quiet.
Okay. So you creep over and you head towards where the cases are stacked at the bottom of the bed. And you notice there's what is clearly a blood stain on the floor as well. It looks like somebody's furiously tried to scrub it away. It's quite large, maybe a couple of feet across. So a substantial amount of blood has spilled on this floor.
Okay.
So the cases pushed up against the wall near the foot of the bed have got no labels on at all. They're quite battered.
Maybe I'll take that rifle off the wall now.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, you take it off the wall, checking it. There's no bullets in
Are there any bullets roundabout?
You can't see any. There's a few. There's a few couple of drawers in this desk.
I guess I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll nice and gently slide the top drawers open.
Okay. So at this point, you, Jake and Harry reach the front door of the cottage, which you can see is open, and inside you can see Gerald with a rifle in his hands.
And I don't know that anybody is in there or
Nope.
sleeping or what, so I'm going to go with what gives?
Am I going to hear them coming up?
You
If I
don't
do.
hear him come up, but you do hear Jake go Jake go, "What's Gibbs? What are you doing?"
I'll
And as I see him with his gun, I'm going to take out my gun, and I'll look there. And I'm looking at him in horror like, why are you drawing a weapon on a sleeping guy? And I'm going to put my gun away.
And then I'll move forward, push Gerald to one side, and then whip the bed sheet back to see who's in the bed.
Okay, it's Flora.
It is Flora.
Oh my God, thank God, we found her.
Is she dead?
I found her.
Oh, she was bleeding. wasn't
We
it?
sent you to find her. We delegated.
Is the blood hers? Is she injured?
No, she's no. So you check her over, and there's no sign of any injuries. There's maybe some slight bruising on her wrist, as if her wrists have been tied at some point.
Is
But
she
she's-
untied now?
Yeah, she's untied. She's completely unresponsive.
I'll
oh,
try
so
to
she's
wake
not
her. Flora.
Is she clothed? She got a dress on?
Yeah, she's got her clothes on.
Hmm.
Flora. Does she
I'm going to
look
try
like
and
she's
find
been
those
dragged?
bullets.
Like,
Sorry?
are her clothes disheveled and dirty, as in from cave mud?
No, it's maybe no.
Okay, good.
No, they look
So-
they look clean. Maybe whether she put clean clothes on or what, you don't know.
Has she
No.
got
Going
clean
over
shoes?
her, like patting her.
There are
padding?
some shoes near the bed, but they're kind of like just tucked under the bed, and they're like ladies' brogues, but they are dirty.
Are
Do they
the
fit me?
Sorry?
Do they fit me?
They're too small for you, yeah.
is there any? Was there just one door into this room?
Yeah.
But is that the entirety of the cottage? This one
Yeah.
room what we're in?
Yeah, it's this one room.
I was just going to say, just make sure the rest of the cottage is secure. But was there an outhouse? Did you or a lead-
There's like
lead-
a wood storage building to the built on the side of it.
So if that blood's not hers, it's either
The
Long Tom,
Adlers.
weird guy,
Long Tom legged it. So
Oh,
maybe
or
it's
is-
Long Tom.
or his guardian then, the guy that actually should be here,
Mm.
that's missing, that didn't come into work. But he could be in with Alda because there's 2 rifles missing. But why have they?
Or maybe Long Tom is the hero of this story.
Can I? She's not responsive.
No.
Can I do anything with my medical training? Failing that,
you
can
could,
I?
You could, yeah, I suppose so. You could try. What's Jake doing and what's Gerald doing?
Well, I was trying to slap her face a bit, rub the sternum with the knuckles,
That's coming
just-
next. I was going to slap her.
But because if that's being done by somebody more qualified than me, then I will do a deep search of this room. How many people
sorry.
does it look like lived here? Gather evidence. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Drawers. Are there any bullets? And open. If there's either of the cases look like more of a man's suitcase, I'll open those and look for some shoes and possibly some trousers.
Okay. Right. So, you open through the drawers. So there's just like knickknacks and writing paper and things like that. And then in the second drawer you look, there is there's a rattle as a handful of shells roll across the bottom of the drawer. And
Magic.
you can roll. I'll let you roll. There's 1d6 shells for the gun or bullets, so you can roll d6
Times
and
50.
see how many you find.
Um,
Jake, you're looking around. So there's
it's going. Oh, I was expecting.
it's clear to you that this this was a home of one person, probably a man.
Does he have tools for like gardening and stuff around and stuff? Like, does it seem like? Can I see the man's trade based on?
It looks well from what you know and what you probably suspect. It looks like a gamekeeper's cottage. So there's
Gamekeeper?
yeah.
Huh. Hmm. What?
So Partlet was supposed that's assuming this is Partlet's cottage, which would seem likely. Partlet was a gamekeeper and also groundskeeper for Samoa. So
Now
this is all potentially all land owned by
more.
Yeah.
Did Gerald tell me that he saw somebody leaving the room?
I don't think he's told anybody. No.
No.
There are and there are, of course, there's all these papers scattered across the top of the desk as well.
I'll start
Yeah.
reading them.
Too busy looking for shoes.
Okay, right. Yes, there is a man. The battered suitcases are man's belong to a man, and there are men's clothes in there. You can probably
Magic.
acquire some replacement footwear, and maybe a pair of trousers.
And trousers.
Okay,
Mhm.
so on the desk are a number of things. There is what appears to be a hand-drawn family tree, a postcard, and a hand-drawn map,
Oh.
which I shall show you all what they are. With a handout for each one. So, where are we? This should be. This one. This one.
Oh. Ah. I see. Don't see. I'm just pretending to see.
So yeah, family tree.
What?
So Flora is a descendant of
Wow.
old dragon killer.
More and Jacobs, but who?
Postcard.
Oh my God. So
All is prepared. The amulet is in my possession. And the old
FOD.
fool. I think
Oh, fool.
suspects nothing. Please hurry back. Our separation is harder with every day that passes.
Your little dove.
However, we've
I
now
didn't-
got a sample of her handwriting.
Oh, look at that. A pass. And where are we in the cracks? Okay. Ah,
Oh, wow.
clues are all fitting together.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Agent Jake. I'll be making my way back to London now with Flora. Will you be accompanying me, Gerald?
Yep, cool, thanks, bye.
Can you take the house off the backdrop of the crags for a second?
Sorry. Oh
The
yeah.
house.
Yeah. One moment. Move it. Down Oh, and John, your character, I keep forgetting his name. Harry, yes. So Flora is clearly quite heavily drugged.
That's what Harry wants to be. So yeah, we're not going to get anything out of her until probably get some fluids to flush the drugs out. But I've got nothing. She's not able.
It might not actually be such a terrible idea to get her on a train to London.
Well, she's
Not until we can question her.
She's
and
safe
find
now,
out
isn't
what's
she?
been going on.
I think we can involve the police now, obviously.
Do we want to involve the local constabulary, though?
I don't see why not.
Well, number one, we have to wait here to see when Frank comes back. So this is now our home base. Never mind the inn.
I don't think he's coming back. I think that was him last night waiting for Polly. Polly hasn't shown up. He's done a runner and he's left Flora. Or he's gone back down into the town to find where she is.
Yeah.
That could be a problem for Charles.
Right, at this point you hear a click of a trigger of a hand being pulled back on a gun.
Oh,
well, that's an interesting theory you've got there. And turning round, you see Frank with a gun trained on your arm.
Frank, you are under arrest.
That's a bold move.
Says, you still on my trail?
You can't escape the long arm of the law.
Yeah, well, I'm the one with a gun in the hand.
Would you mind if I went to the outhouse for a minute? Follow-up question.
Says, how about I put a bullet in each of you right now?
You'll never be able to do it quick enough. Your best bet is to cooperate so that you could be seen with leniency.
Yeah.
The so
game
far,
is over.
You haven't done anything wrong, really. Flora's fine.
I'm afraid you'd find that's not quite true.
Well, it really depends on the way we put it. Sorry?
He says, I'm afraid you'll find that's not quite true, Agent Shotter. Shotter.
Go on.
Oh, he's not.
Oh no, we don't want to get in the way of the villainous soliloquy.
No, it doesn't say any more than that.
Oh. Listen, this is the way I see it. There's 3 of us and there's 1 of you. I'm not a betting man, but I would assume that you're going to shoot me first. Now, that would leave my 2 friends here, who quite capable. If one of them is clearly handling a shotgun.
Can I just acquaintances?
If you cooperate with us, you could claim part of the reward for helping Flora. I mean, that's really what you want in the end. To be comfortable and to live comfortably. We could arrange that for you.
No idea. You have no idea what's happening here. This is you there with the rifle. Throw it on the floor.
Oh, sorry, are you talking to me? Go on. Give us an idea.
You gonna throw the rifle on the floor?
Are you going to give us an idea?
An idea? What do you mean?
You said that we've got no idea.
Oh, no. What do you think I am? Some comic book villain here to spill my plans?
Well, I don't know. Look. See that crag over there? We saw you up there last night. You see over there?
He's not looking. Says,
what are you gonna do when
"One last
Longlegs
chance.
comes back?
One last chance, Limey. Put the gun
What's
on the
gonna
floor."
happen when Longlegs comes back?
I'm not scared of that freak.
Not even if he was stood right behind you now.
Ooh, he can make a hard, fast talk roll. See if he falls for it.
All right.
He's pretty canny, is Frank, but
Hard.
hard.
Come on. Come on.
This will dramatically
Oh,
No. You want to push that
hardly.
somehow?
I'll just shout at him and just go, ah!
I think I would try the persuade though. I mean, he's maybe beyond persuasion, but
No, I'm not going to try persuade.
I would. I mean, I'd like
You
to,
might,
like in my
you
dialogue.
might have some ability in persuade.
Yes, that's why I'm trying
I
to.
don't.
Like, I'm gonna.
I'm going to position Flora back at rest on her bed. Pull the blankets up round her, and then I'm going to move round the bed closer towards where Frank is. As all that's going on.
Okay, that will be so. Well, let's see what would that you're going to try.
Are you triggering initiative then?
I would guess you're going to be making a kind of a stealth roll, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hard stealth roll. Then go on.
I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to stealth. I've made sure she's safe in bed.
Okay.
pulled the
Well,
blanket.
okay.
Yeah, but the
And then
the roll is to kind of see if he reacts to it.
the front of the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Sorry. Go on, Jake.
I've got a new plan.
You're not shouting at him anymore, then.
No,
Right.
I'm going to get my rifle, and I'm going to point it at Jack.
remember, because you have the rifle, your initiative is, I think it's what? It's 50 plus. It's 50 plus your dex.
Yeah.
And
So
but so does he.
Yeah, he's trained and ready, so he'll get a shot off first because he's got the hammer's cocked. He's ready to shoot.
Yeah. Okay.
Who
fair
is he
enough,
actually pointing the gun at?
At the minute, it's pointed at Gerald.
Because he's got the
I'm
gun.
going to point my rifle at Jake and go and move and just gradually move myself so I'm more stood next to Adler.
Right. Okay. He just shoots you.
Oh. All right. Are you
bet you
calling
this is-
initiative now? Don't hurt him.
Oh dear. Right. Okay.
Now I'm bringing all my skills to the fore.
Do I get some sort of dodge?
You can make a dodge. Yes, you can make a dodge to try and get into cover.
Yeah.
Or possibly a credit rating?
Jump behind Jake.
So, yeah.
It's fine. I'll jump behind Flora.
Oh, lucky bastard.
Nice.
Unless he gets a better roll.
That is below half.
Okay, right, yeah. So he
Ah.
he looses off around at you, but you manage to jump out the way, and it like thuds into the wall where you were just stood. And now I suppose we'll be in combat.
What gun has he got? Has he got a rifle?
Oh, Jake, he's got
No,
a
that guy.
32 revolver.
Alder.
So
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
thinking,
sorry, Frank.
Number one,
Frank
since-
Alder's got a revolver.
since we're all like kind of poised, I'm assuming that him firing off was his initiative of 50 plus
It-
dex.
Kind of a
Oh, he had the kind of the
yeah,
drop
he
on us.
kind of it drop on
Yeah.
you, so it's like kind of a free thing for him.
Well, if it would have been free if we weren't already engaged in dialogue, I think.
True. Go on then.
Because I
It
think
would.
that's
It's
why they
certainly
have the
well.
50 plus dex.
Everybody
Yeah.
else certainly can act. Yeah, Gerald maybe not, but yeah, everybody else can certainly act.
So that's
In
uh,
Dex order, but you get your, like, say if you've got a gun, and that's 50 plus.
right. No, but no, because my gun was put away, so I don't.
Yeah.
But so did you put us in the combat tracker? I'm not seeing it.
No, I haven't put it in combat tracker yet. I need to pull some tokens out. I've never used a combat tracker in this, to be honest.
Ah, okay, no worries. Then let's just go. I have a 50 dex, so I'm assuming somebody is higher than me in the
No,
party.
I was being sarcastic when I said all my skills are coming to the fore now. I'm not built for combat. I've got 45 dex.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Let's see.
So then, for my turn, I am running to tackle him down
Okay.
because I don't have my gun drawn. My fastest move is to run. Like he fired at my acquaintance,
Person
and
you've
so
met.
person I know. I am going to. I mean, it's not like I know his blood type or anything. I've seen it. It's red, but and I am going to tackle him.
Curious as to. Oh, right, yeah, it does. All right, cool. There we go.
And try
So it is
to
in the
tackle him
combat
to the
tracker now.
ground. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So Frank has gone essentially.
Yeah.
So,
So I'd like to. As soon as he fires at Gerald, I'm going to tackle him.
okay. So it's compare builds, don't we? Because it's fighting maneuver. Is build. What's your build? What's Jake's build? I imagine the same. So
Oh, huge.
Build is 1.
yeah. So that's not good. That's not an issue. And yeah. So it's a grapple.
It's my brawl.
Yep. It is. Indeed, it is.
Deck him, Jake.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
34. So he can.
So it's equivalent to a hard success.
Yep. So he
Nice.
can make a fight back or dodge. So I think he's going to go with a dodge, which is just a base. Why is it not with his base dodge chance? Cheat. Okay. Probably not going to work very well. Okay, right. Yeah, he tried to dodge out the way, but yeah, completely failed. So you
Deck
you
him.
tackle him. You tackle Frank to the floor.
Okay. I don't know if it could be the same because I think I have 2 levels of success higher than him. Or 3? No, 2. I'm not sure. So I don't know if I can cuff him at the same time or if that has to be next turn.
Yeah, that'd have to be next. That'd have to be next
Fair
next
enough.
time.
Then
So the better difficulty just if both succeed, then the better difficulty would just overrule the lesser success.
understood. Okay. Fair
Does
enough.
he now count as being grappled?
Potentially, yeah. Well, he's been knocked to the floor.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to tackle him, so I want to be on top of him. But
Yeah.
again, that's
I think that is maneuver, isn't it? Tackle, grapple.
Yeah. So it'd be like a pause strength and stuff. And, you know, if Frank would have to be doing a pause strength to get away from him and stuff like that.
I'm just thinking for my attack following up, because he's grappled. I can't remember the rules. I get advantage.
You get a bonus
for-
dice, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, we outnumber him as well. Or we
Yes.
will
Do outnumber him, yeah.
do.
I think that's a bonus
Bundle.
dice for everyone that's outnumbered him as well, isn't it? I believe. Citizens are actually doing some combat.
So who's
yeah.
what was that on? That was 50, was it, or 55?
It's on the combat tracker. So next is Dave. On
Where's the
45.
combat tracker?
It's the fist on the thing. You can you can right click it and
Second
it'll pop.
icon in.
You can right click it and it'll pop it out.
I see.
Outnumbered 108. Next page.
Could use the rifle as a club, and
Yeah. So when a character is outnumbered by opposition, the character is at disadvantage. Once a character has either fought back or dodged in the present round, all subsequent melee attacks on them are made with 1 bonus dice. This does not apply to attacks made using firearms. Yeah.
unless you use it as a club.
So basically, he gets a So basically, he gets a penalty dice, and everybody else gets an advantage, a bonus dice.
By the way, does my brawl tackle do the 1d4 damage or no?
I would no. I would you're just like knocking him to the floor, weren't you? Really?
Okay, so that's just a maneuver then. Okay.
Yeah. So in fact,
Do I still have my walking stick?
do you? Which walking stick? Oh, the one that you from the mine. That you sort of took from the mine.
No, I have a. It depends whether.
I would say
I would have
no.
thought that I have a walking stick because I'm.
It would
weak
just make
and-
more sense to use your rifle, but just to smack him with that.
Yeah, I would say you wouldn't have your walking stick anyway, not after
Okay,
that
I'll-
sojourn through the
I'll-
mine.
I shall attempt to smack him with my rifle.
Okay, so
Sorry,
you can.
Jake.
So it's a fighting brawl with a bonus dice.
I shall preempt the. Sorry, Jake.
No, go ahead. I'm actually just consulting and learning.
Uh,
So
not bonus dice. Yeah.
Oh dear. I think there might have been a murder.
Oh, well, no, that's it. That's fantastic. You've just,
Oh wow!
you've killed him.
Dear me. So oh god, is that max? I think that's max. Just maximum, doesn't it?
I'm just gonna get up and get out of his way. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't need me.
It's max damage, and then you roll damage.
Yeah.
I don't presume you've got a strength bonus, do you?
No. I might even have a strength.
So
Minus.
We won't
that
need it
would
with that.
count as a club.
Be like
Yeah.
6 plus a d6, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it would be that. Yeah.
It's probably not killed him, but it'll be a serious injury. most
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah, just a bit.
You can have a day.
Club. Large baseball bat, no. Small, yeah, bat.
Oh.
No. So yeah, 1d6 plus your damage bonus, and and plus 6.
That'll teach him to shoot at. Yeah.
That didn't go according to plan.
Wow.
it was just going to lock you in the house.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna.
Pop.
Wow. So that's more than half his hits.
Night, mate.
That's massive damage, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
I think he has to do Constitution,
Yeah.
or he passes out.
It is indeed. Right.
I mean, that was my original plan all along.
Wow.
Okay, right. Surprisingly, amazingly, he's not passed out. You see the end. Well, you tell me what happened. Give me an excuse to look something up while you're explaining that. Gerald.
Quite how he's not gone down like a sack of spuds. Seeing as
Gerald
I've just-
doesn't like to be shot at. Basically.
I don't. I'm not a fan.
No.
See, I think a swift rifle butt to the face that is clearly made of sterner stuff.
He is. Somehow.
A very, very hard head.
Okay.
But there you go, Jake. I've softened him up for you. Or in
Yeah.
fact, Harry, lamp him.
So
I'm not a man of violence. I'm sorry. I cannot take part in this.
He started it. He
Um,
shot me.
Can I, for my go, it is my go now, isn't it?
Yeah.
it is.
Can I remove
His head.
Jake's handcuffs from his belt and then whip him on our friend. Or can I not? I'll just add my weight. I'll reinforce Jake's grapple, so he's doubly disadvantaged. He's not
Okay.
getting out of this, is he?
I don't think so.
No.
He's still got his gun in his hand.
I think leaning on his gun or stepping on his gun hand might be a good idea.
Well,
In fact, I'll shout, "Get his gun!"
I'll roll to grapple,
Yeah.
but I'll get advantage because he's now outnumbered twice.
You get two bonus dice basically because
Yeah.
he's outnumbered, he's grappled. So two. What, you trying to like wrestle the gun out of his hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it helps, I'll be shouting, "Get the gun! Get the gun!"
The gun. So it's just basic brawl, isn't it?
Yeah, fighting brawl.
With 2 dice. I'll cock this up.
Yeah, don't fumble it.
Fucking hell.
Boom. Okay, right.
Hero.
Yeah.
Wow, you're taking that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you easily pull the gun out of his hand and it's like, phew, fucking bastards, let me go.
And then I'll put gun to his
That
head.
is quite
That old man's got to
Shoot him
pay.
in head.
Are you going to shoot him in the head?
No. I'll shoot him in the balls.
That old fool's got to pay.
No, the only person that's going to pay is you, Mr. Adler.
All right. Well, I guess you, between you quite easily managed to get Jake's cuffs on him. Pinned his arms pinned behind his back. Is handcuffed, and he keeps cursing and shouting at you and telling you how he's going to make that old fool pay for what he's done to his family.
Yeah, but the old fool is not innocent in all of this. But why kidnap his offspring? I mean, isn't she your sister?
So I needed a blood relative, but I'm not telling you any more than that.
What are they then? Like cousins several time removed?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
No, well, they would be John. John is Flora's father.
Is she? Where's that thing gone?
On the John is Flora's father
John Moore.
from one mother, and it's a half sister. He's been dating his half sister.
Well, has he been dating her? We don't
I
know,
mean,
do we?
there was amorous intent on her. I mean, he seduced his half sister.
Mm.
So John. So Reginald Moore is the
Oh, it's Reginald. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is a first cousin, a half first cousin. Sorry, it's Reginald. Let me check the. Yeah, thank you for
I think
everybody.
you learnt that much, didn't you? That he reluctantly told you about a fling with that American actress, didn't he?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Reginald Moore, and
It's on the cigarette card.
yeah, it's Mrs. Leonora Adler.
So do you think is it Sir Morse? Do you think he knows that she's related to him?
She doesn't know.
No, but do you think he knows, the old guy knows that Flora's related to him? Do you think he knew that?
I think it's possible. I don't think he knew that he was dating her. I don't know necessarily that word came out from
Well, I did mention. Well, we did say, didn't we? Because I said we were here on behalf of her grandmother because he knew her
Yeah.
grandmother, and they're
Yes,
quite
but
high up in society. But does he know that his family is linked to her family? I wonder if he knows that.
And who's the little dove? Is that still
That's
so wait,
bloody
John.
Polly who we're going to put a bullet in. I mean,
No,
we're going to
John.
arrest.
John Moore is Reginald's father, and also Flora's father.
No,
If
that's
I'm looking at
no, that's a different John Moore. I mean, that John
Oh, good. Okay.
Reginald's father is I mean, Reginald's like in his 70s,
Okay.
so it's just a name that's
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
it's
Yeah.
John
That.
Moore
Okay.
Jacob.
So, yeah.
John Moore
John
Jacobs is Flora's father.
is Flora's father. John Moore Jacobs is Flora's father, and that's from Rupert, and that's off Richard.
Just how do you want to? Are we going to do another session, Phil? I'm just looking at time.
I would say we have to wrap it up in another session. Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's got a little overly well, not complicated, but
it takes a long time to get on a train back to London. It's not like we can just do it straight away. We're gonna have to rest. Got to get the police involved.
yeah.
We need to find the little dove.
What am I? Chopped liver?